Hello there, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on your time zone. We are back with a 5.0 ability leak class change utilities is all coming out. There's been a few posts already, and for the most part they've been correct, but there's also a few subtle differences. So we're going to try and clarify for those for everyone today. I'd also like to point out from the beginning, and please listen to this part, this is all subject to change. This is all subject to change. This may change tomorrow. This may change the day after. It's all subject to change. So anything you hear today might be incorrect by the time that it goes live. With that being said, let's speculate like madmen. I'm joined today by a motley crew of players who all specialize in various different classes, and hopefully they can lend me their collective wisdom on what this is going to mean for PvE and PvP. So let's just introduce ourselves quickly. First of all, we've got Delegate. How are you, Delegate? Amazing. We got some tumbleweed there from Delegate. That's absolutely what I wanted to start off with. I'm guessing he's muted his mic because he's got a mechanical keyboard and he's probably chatting away about how he's a fluffy-haired marauder from London and a bit of a cheeky geezer, but no one can hear him. Anyway, next up we've got the King of Team Town. Mac, what's up, man?
Check. Mic is working. Cool. Yeah, I'm doing okay. Haven't played that much Star Wars recently, but well, still interested about these changes.
Okay, and then we've got our fearless leader, Thorance, who hopefully will not be interrupted by his dog going mental behind him.
Hello, everyone.
And we also have Yashia.
Hello.
All right, so let's just dive straight into this then. We've got quite...
I'm back. Sorry.
Oh, welcome back, Delegate. It's not like we're doing anything at the moment. So let's just go through the quick overall things. So we got Kotat is going to be released hopefully sometime this year. My speculation is November. But we've managed to mine the PTS and the first patch on the PTS. The reason this took a little bit of time to come through is just simply because it takes a lot of time to go through all the changes to make sure that they are correct. Otherwise we end up with like massive text posts which pretty much go nowhere and are quite hard to interpret. I want to give a special thank you to the guys over at Jedipedia. By the way, guys, if you want to read these changes yourself, they are currently live on jedipedia.net. You can read them all. They're fully in tooltip format, and in my opinion, this is the best way we've ever seen the changes come in. There's no bias here. It actually looks absolutely fantastic. So big thanks to everyone from Tor Community, Swoto Hamster, Swoto Coconut, and Smelligate, who helped cross everything. So make sure you go over there and check those out if you get time. With the tooltips, they are set by default to be mouse over, but you can toggle them to be on always, and you also have the quick changes here. So first off, let's have a look at the global changes. So guys, jump in if you've got anything to say on any of these things at any point in time. But class changes have been simplified to make the game more approachable for new players. It looks like, and again this is speculation, that base classes may have been removed. So rather than starting off as a Sith Warrior, you start off as a Marauder or a Juggernaut. I'm not sure if this is actually going to be in. This is a bit of speculation. What are your thoughts on this one, guys?
Well, none really, except for, the first two levels as a base class wasn't really necessary, I feel like. It didn't give you any idea about the base class itself, so why not just start from, if you want to dual wield lightsabers, why not just get that going from the get-go and don't waste your time with the base class. So.
I actually completely agree with that, yeah.
I mean, they have been lowering the levels recently for all the new abilities, so you get them earlier, so it kind of makes sense. I mean, it wasn't really much help. Exactly.
I think it's good as well from another point of view, because as a new player, you'll turn the game on and you'll have a choice of 16 classes rather than 8. Kind of, with mirrors, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is pretty decent. It also prevents people doing the lol, I'm a level 60 Sith Warrior, ruining all your games. I'm hilarious. There's also been a large amount of ability pruning, so with the base classes seemingly removed, the advanced classes will now vary further than before. Various base classes abilities are now restricted to one advanced class. So, for example, ranged players don't get melee abilities and vice versa. And I do agree this does improve the class identity and does simplify the skill bar quite a lot. Yep. So, I mean, this is pretty good as far as I'm concerned. I like to have classes non-homogenized. No homogenized.
Yeah, I agree with this. I think this is a good change.
Okay, and the next one?
For example, I'm for example, I wasn't really a fan of the shared specs most classes have, like Fury and Rage for Juggernauts and Marauders. So, if they, as you said, differentiate the classes even more, I'm a fan of that.
Well done,
so,
Mark.
Thanks, man. English is hard.
Better than my German. Barely. Okay, so stances have now been removed. So whether you had iron, like cells, stances, whatever you want to call it, they've all been removed now. So you have one built into your discipline. So if you are a Sin, what's the Sin tank spec called?
Dark Charge.
Dark Charge.
Exactly, I knew that.
That's part of the base now, as opposed to something that you toggle. I think this is really good because I've seen lots of people with no cell, no stance, wrong stance. I may have done it once or twice.
I'm really happy with that as well.
Yeah, this is one of the best changes that they've made, to be honest. The amount of times that I've seen people in the wrong stance, they don't really know what they're doing, they don't know the class yet. This fixes it, especially for things like ranked. I mean, you should probably know what sort of stance you should be in, but I've seen it before and I've seen it happen, and people get really angry about it. So this fixes that situation that we've had.
Yeah, pretty much. And there's no reason, like it isn't dumping down anything because there's no reason to switch your stances, except for maybe
it really
tanking.
It's a lot like sprint, like the ability sprint that makes you move just a little bit faster. You have to toggle that on. I've toggled that off before by accident, by misclicking, and I haven't realized because it's not on my toolbars or anything. I put it on there now, but for a while I played like a week without having it turned on. I just thought I was being rooted and slowed all the time because there's so many slows in the game. I don't see why that isn't just toggled on automatically. There you go. So to improve the leveling process, many abilities get learned earlier, so you actually feel like you progress a little bit faster. Going through the new the DPL promotion, I've leveled up a few classes, and I found it very unrewarding that you can go like 3 or 4 levels with nothing.
Oh yeah.
So this is pretty good. Also, abilities and passive that were automatically learned upon selecting an advanced class now have to be picked up from the class trainer at the respected level. I know that's probably a bit harder because it's meant to be, but it's no longer automatic. But I think when you click on an ability to learn it, you then know you have it. More of a experience, if you see what I mean, rather than just having something appear on your toolbar. This is going to be a favorite for all the melee classes. Yeah, all cast and channeled abilities have been removed from melee classes or turned into instants, making melee players more mobile. Can I get a instant cast Ravage, please?
Yeah, this is an interesting change. I'm not quite sure what to make of this yet, to be honest. I guess, this can have some sort of tie-in with some of the utility points as well, because there were a couple of root utility points you can get with Ravage, so it'd be interesting to see what sort of things are going to happen along with this now.
I agree.
Well, they've kept the immobilize on Ravage. It still immobilizes them.
I'm guessing maybe you can just range them, so rather than having a channel thing, you can still move away, but it isn't channeled.
Yeah, maybe you still get like the 3 hits out of Ravage, but those happen in the 1.5 seconds.
Let me give you an example. If you rifle shot with Operative, it hits them 3 times, but it's still an instant.
Yeah,
so maybe it's the same thing as that.
And during those 1.5 seconds, these shots go off. So maybe it's the same. That you have an animation, but it's just shorter.
Possibly. Here's going to be a fan favorite. Stealth players are now fully invisible. You can no longer see them even when you are right next to them. Stealth level increase that was previously tied to an ability, which was Ghost and is it Blackout for? Yeah. Which gave you 15 levels of stealth. That is now baseline. So I can literally stand next to you and you won't see me. So if you've played the stealth class, when you use your sneak ability and move past players, you can like run through them and they won't see you. That is now baseline.
I don't think that's going to be too much of a problem. Like usually, say like someone's at a node, you're an operative. If I have my saber slash or something that I would be using. Yeah. So whether or not that really affects PvP, I'm not really too sure. PvE is not really going to make much difference. It could make a difference in PvE actually, because you do have some of the mobs that do notice you.
I guess you won't get any accidental pulls. But, Bran just said stealth there was going to be many funds. That's true. Yeah.
We'd have to make the circle even smaller now, I guess, and
we're gonna have to whiz past every single one. Yeah, Jesus. Okay, but it's a big difference. You can only reveal stealth players with AoE abilities or stealth detection. Players who are stealthed by infiltrate or smuggle are not affected by this change. You can still see them. God, they will do anything to make infiltrate useless, won't they? Jesus. Giving away your team's position since 2014. Guard is no longer tied to the tank stance and can be used by DPS players as well. So we were saying there was a problem with, Yang tanks and Shang tanks, so they just made everyone able to do it now. Amazing. I've got to say, this change baffles me, to be frank. If they tied Guard into that charge, they essentially removed that problem. This seems to make it
pretty
worse.
much. That's what I figured when I read this the first time, that they just make all the stances automatic.
Yeah.
I figured, okay, then I'm sure God will just be part of the tank spec or something.
That might be something they add in at a later date, because, this change literally makes no sense to me. Giving DPS specs a guard is a lot of utility for them. And I know they'll take a lot of damage, but their DPS won't be decreased. It really, when you have the whole tank and healer OP combo at the moment, it seems to make that a little bit stronger, in my opinion, anyway. So the droid mezzes have been removed from a lot of classes. So some mezzes still affect droids, but for the most part, the specific slice droid type ones have been taken out. Sorc, sages, sins, and all those kind of things have had all abilities nerfed by 10 to 2%. So that's quite a big decrease, 10%. I'm not sure why they would reduce that, to be honest with you. Maybe on the dot specs, possibly, but it seems to be quite sweeping there.
They changed a lot of things, like I think they nerfed damage on slows and stuns, which seemed quite pointless, really. But
yeah, exactly.
I guess they want them
to
just be slows and stuns as opposed to damaging moves.
It could also tie into utilities as well with assassins, because some of the utilities and passives might mean that class is a bit faster now, so you're able to sort of dot around the map a lot quicker, which kind of means that you might be doing a slightly bit more damage anyway, just because you're being able to move around a lot quicker.
Okay, so the new level cap is 70. We think we already knew that one, and you get a new passive at level 68. So this doesn't include disciplines where the stance was moved or anything like that. It's a new passive. Everyone gets a level 68, which is pretty cool. Discipline that already included the stance received a new ability because the stances were changed from an ability to a passive, so they get a new button, which is pretty cool. The number of utilities stays at 24, but they have organized them differently, and you now get to choose one additional utility, so you can have 8 rather than 7. I've seen a lot of utilities here that have been combined. So if you looked at one utility before and thought that's a little bit underpowered, there's now going to be another one just smashed into it to make it a bit more appealing. Some of these are actually pretty cool, the ones that they've been combined with. Hopefully that will be pretty cool. Also, where utilities have been combined, new ones have been added in, so the total count still stays at 24. So I'll just show you the little chart here so you can get an idea of how it works. It used to be, it was 8 per tier, now it's 6. You used to require 3, and then you could have 2. Now it's 2, 2, 2, 2. Or you can obviously put all 6 in there if you wanted to, but it's 2 to unlock the next tier on each one. And nice and straightforward, nice and easy.
Yeah.
All right, so we're starting off here with Juggernaut's Guardians. Guys, we're going to use the Imperial stances for 2 reasons. First of all, Imperials are better. And second of all, some of the ones are incomplete for the rep side. So just to make it a little bit easier, we'll stick with the same one. So Ravage, instant, performs a series of lightsaber attacks that deals X damage, strikes with both weapons if dual wielding. So it's now instant.
I guess that's slightly bad because the damage is in 1 GCD, so like you can't run away from it or phase walk.
It's a lot of damage as well, isn't it?
I can't imagine they'd squish all that damage into 1 global cooldown.
Yeah, that might be a bit too much, but on the other hand, I like it because, staying stationary as a melee class felt kind of unintuitive, if you ask me. Even if it's tied to roots. So
that would be one big hit though. Ravage damage all in 1 global cooldown.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it is all in 1 global cooldown though. It might be over a 3-second duration, but you don't have to stand still to do it anymore.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, I wonder if there are any animation changes as well to this. I mean, I don't think it might just be a 3-tick sort of hit either. It could be more of like a 1 long, sort of like a hard single hit as a Ravage, as opposed to something like a long casting attack. So they might have nerfed it slightly as well.
I think the animation is quite iconic. So what I expect will happen is it's the same attack, but now basically you don't have to channel her anymore. That's going to be my guess on it. So it still goes off over 3 seconds, but you can move around whilst doing it. Also, guys, it's been renamed from Blade Dance, everyone's favorite name, to Blade Barrage. Been renamed twice now.
Until they're happy with the name, I guess.
Yeah. Force Scream is exactly the same, but it's been nerfed by 9.2%. And Intimidate and Roar has no effect on droids, so no real biggies there. Is anyone using these to CC droids? I don't know. Perhaps they've done this.
No, wait. I think now they have an effect on droids. I think they changed.
Oh, I beg your pardon. I'm terribly sorry. Now it does have an effect on droid. Maybe they've changed this. Maybe they'll be using some more droids in PV. So they want to have some mobs that are not CCable, and having all these classes with slice droid might have been a bit more trivial, you know?
Yeah.
Possibly. There's some cosmetic changes in terms of phrasing on strike and slash, but no actual change at all. Stances are now part of the discipline, so they've reworded that slightly. So rather than saying enter, it just says utilize, which is there. Guard, again, whereas previously it said it required a certain form, now that has been removed. That is why we assume, this one here, this is why we assume that DPS classes can now use it, because it no longer requires this form. We might be incorrect with that, but that's pretty much how we read it. Also, single saber mastery now just increases the weapon damage by, the damage dealt by your weapon by 20%. The rest of it is tied into the actual form itself.
Yep.
The more cosmetic changes, these ones here are literally just phrasing changes. So looking into the discipline changes here, Rage Focus gets a new at 68, Vengeance and Vigilance get a new ability at 42 because of the Sheehan form being changed from a passive to an active, and Immortal get no new ability or passive because Suresu form has been added instead. The new one at level 68 is Enkindling Agony. Force Crush grants Enkindling Agony. Who names these things? Some guy with a thesaurus. That's a good word. Making your next obliterate or furious strike consume no rage. Thoughts?
Well, I don't play the spec, but I do struggle with rage when I play it from time to time, so it's a nice change.
Yeah, maybe that's more towards PvE, because I don't think you're that much out of rage in PvP. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's simply.
I think that's a good change. I think people forget sometimes to use Force Crush because you don't see any damage out of it, and now this sort of reinforces the fact that Force Crush is part of that spec, and so by doing this, you don't have to consume your rage. So I think it's supposed to sort of encourage and teach some of the new players that Force Crush should be part of what you're doing.
Okay, fantastic.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And the next one that was changed was Sheet Show Mastery. It's the same thing as before. It did increases your armor pen by 15%. It also increases force attack damage by 3%. So just
I think that was tied into Saber Mastery before.
Yeah, that
just made it.
It was already in the spec.
Okay.
Yeah.
The next ones are just pure cosmetic changes, just changing the wording. Was isn't two. See the changes here, guys. The red is the old, the green is the new. But these are pretty much the same. It's just whereas it used to say when a form was active, and now it just says the base thing completely. Vengeance, the one that they have at level 68, is called Hue. Can I get a Hue? Cooldown 10 seconds, range 30 meters. Hurls the main hand lightsaber at a target, dealing X damage, and slowing its movement speed by 50% for 3 seconds. Only usable on targets below 30% health. Replaces Vicious Throw. So it looks like it's just a straight up upgrade on Vicious Throw, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm guessing it will also deal a little bit more damage.
Yeah.
And having a slow tie to an execute is always nice.
Yeah, that's good. It's a good change.
So yeah, if the animation is cool as well, then I like this change.
I like how the rap equivalent is called Censoring Slice. Like, what is a censoring?
I don't know.
I don't get that word at all, to be honest with you. All right. Updated. So Ravager used to be a flat. Ravage increases by 5%. Now its melee attacks deal 3% more damage, and the damage dealt by Ravage is increased by an additional 5%. And that's that from there. And the rest are just cosmetic changes to words. Then you've got Immortal. That looks like it's been updated slightly. Retaliation consumes 1 less rage and no longer causes a global cooldown. addition, melee and range defense is increased by 3%. So it's a 3% increase on defense when you use that. That wasn't there before. You also have Conquering Defenses, which now has the added thing. So it also does the same as before, which is 4% shield chance and reduces the cooldown on Saber War by 30 seconds. In addition, targets affected by Intimidate and Roar deal 15% less melee and range damage for 10 seconds after the paralyzing effect ends. Targets immune to the paralyzing effect will immediately suffer from this damage reducing effect. So a nice little change to the tank ability. Isn't that squished from something else?
No, that's brand new.
That's brand new, is it? Okay.
That's brand new, yeah. It's pretty good for peeling. I mean,
it's pretty good for
like,
anything, really.
Yeah, even, we know all how chaotic, especially arenas can be with everyone just cramming up there and being dotted and everything, or having full resolve. So
well, it's good for PvE
even
well.
then, this is good for simply for peeling for your healer or something, I guess.
Yeah, this is a good change.
Some more cosmetic changes, just removing the whole form part of it.
Oh, now I wonder though. Do you think this might work on operation bosses?
Well, I would assume so. That's what I was going to say for PvE. It sounds like it's a good one because you're just going to add a flat in 15% damage reduction on melee and range attack for 10 seconds.
Yeah.
So, seems pretty good to me. So yeah, moving on, the rest of them we've gone through is just slightly worded changes. Let's go into the new utilities. This is the exciting stuff. Extending Ire increases the range of Force Scream to 30 meters, but Force Scream deals reduced damage beyond 10 meters. Additionally, Force Push deals 20% more damage and grants Extending Ire, allowing your next Force Scream to deal full damage regardless of the distance from target. So yeah, basically you're looking at 30 meters Force Scream, but if you do it over 10 meters before using Force Push, it does reduce damage.
Yeah, I find this quite interesting because this time it doesn't only add something to your ability, it also takes something, the reduced damage. So you would have to figure out if it fits your playstyle and you want to take that damage reduction over that range. So I'm a bit confused about the force push being tied into it, because Force Push resets your cooldown of Force Leap. So why would you need a ranged attack after that?
That's true. I'm also apparently using some old changes here, so give me a second. I'll just update this very quickly. Terribly sorry. Thanks for the musical interlude there. Okay, so.
Yeah.
All right, Yashia has made a song and dance there. All right, so we just did Extending Ire. Now let's move on to. Let me just zoom out a bit here. Well, that's in. Now let's move on to Reckoning. Intercede grants Reckoning, increasing the damage dealt by your next melee attack by 20%. This effect lasts for 10 seconds. That's pretty cool. It means a passive, you intercede, next hit you do does 20% more damage.
That's brilliant, in my opinion. The amount of times that I've seen Juggs who just don't use Intercede enough as well. I mean, there's healers and Intercede every now and again. Every time it's off cooldown can really help. This encourages them to use Intercede. You get a bit more damage out of it as well. Really good for PvE as well, I think. So, yeah, it's a good utility.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, we know Juggernaut tanks can deal quite a lot of damage. So, having a 20% buff on your next crushing blow, I mean, why not?
Goddamn tanks. All right, then we got Piercing Chill. Hopefully this is not a reference to getting chill from Otini cast and piercing his ears and nose and things. But it's a passive. Chilling Scream pierces enemies with an aching chill, dealing X elemental damage to all affected targets over 8 seconds. Additionally, Chilling Scream increases your movement speed by 35% for 8 seconds. That's pretty good to me.
Was Chilling Scream always 35%? Or did they increase that? Because I know Chilling Scream does increase the speed.
Not of you, though.
There was a talent for teammates, not for you.
Ah, right, okay.
But now it does the same to you. Or no,
that's
it only does it to you.
That's a pretty good change. That's a really good.
And it doesn't have a cooldown, I think, so you can just spam it, if you have the rage.
I think there's a talent, isn't it, that makes it cost nothing?
If they haven't removed that, but yep.
No, the talent was removed.
Ah, right, okay.
Okay.
But yeah, it also does damage as well. I mean, I don't know how much damage it does. I'm guessing it's not a huge amount.
It's pitiful. It's like 100 or something.
Yeah, it always did some damage. I mean, I think it's a good way to get some stealths out of stealth. But other than that,
Okay, movement speed is always good for Juggs anyway. So updated, so this is a merge talent here. Thrown Gauntlet, passive, reduces the cooldown of Force Push and Intimidate and Roar by 15 seconds. I love Force Push, I love taking this. I only play Jugg because I like Force Push. This is perfect for me. Additionally, reduces the cooldown of Intercede by 5 seconds and reduces the threat and damage taken by an additional 10% for the friendly target of Intercede. So basically, they've merged together Intercessor. I can't make out that talent. Sorry.
Yeah, Intercessor. It looks like that's what it says.
They've merged that together, so now it's a 2-4. You get 2 for 1. So if you are using Intercede for the damage increase as well, that's pretty good because you can do it every 5 seconds more often, and also you get the cooldown reduction too. So I'm not sure if anyone would take that with the new talents. Maybe they outweigh them.
Yeah.
I'm hardly a Jugg expert. You know, I literally just like pushing people off ledges.
That's pretty good. I mean, it's good for sort of supporting a team member. You can always force push. You know, you can intercede a lot more often with the pushing away of other enemy teams. So it's pretty good.
Okay, so let's look at some more. Sorry.
It seems like it'd be good for Jugg tanks if you can go into like super peeling mode.
Yeah.
Because with the new damage reduction on the AoE fear.
Yeah. Okay.
That's true, yeah.
Updated ones, taking non-periodic area of effect damage generates 2 rage now up for 1 and not occur more than once per second. Then you have Through Victory. So Mad Dash can be used while immobilized, purges movement imperial effects when activated, deals 50% more damage and reduces the cooldown of Mad Dash by 10 seconds. So again, that's pretty, it's a straight buff.
Yeah, I would have to ask how much damage does Mad Dash deal at the moment?
Not a
that
tremendous
much,
amount,
right?
no.
It's fluff. It's
the
just
same.
fluff damage.
It's the same as sweeping slash, so not really that much.
Yeah, okay.
Still though, I mean, I don't know if anyone would take this really. I mean, it does purge effects, I guess.
I think this would be a 35-second root break.
It is nice. It is nice.
Yeah.
I take it sometimes. As melee DPS, I think it's useful.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the rest are just changing a few things here. So Through Power used to be based on Endure Pain, now it's Enraged Defense, increases your movement speed by 50% and grants immunity to movement impairing effects while active. I don't think I like that actually.
I don't like that because I wouldn't want to do that on say, for example, like a hut wall or something. I mean, using the Endure Pain was a nice sort of, it wasn't your hard defensive cooldown being used, it was your light one. And so now you have to use your Enraged Defense to get that. I don't know.
That's a premium cooldown, isn't it? So
yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, first off, it's a longer, I think it's double the cooldown of Endure Pain. Then you can only use it below 70% health.
It looks like
exactly.
They've swapped it. They've swapped it so Endure Pain removes all cleansable effects while activated.
Yeah,
you still get who knows off it, but not movement speed increase.
Yeah, I don't know how fast you can get rid of the stacks of Enraged Defense. You know, so if those stacks run out, I guess this immunity will also run out. I don't know if that's a big deal. You know, if you can get rid of this.
To try this out.
Yeah.
I don't think I like these changes, to be honest with you.
Now we just have to wait and see. But for Hotball, I'd definitely be interested to try this out just to see how much of an effect it's had.
Okay. And the other ones have been just changed, so just changing wording to do with Suretsu form. Then you got Overwhelm. So whereas Overwhelm used to say Ravage immobilizes the target for the duration of the ability, now it just says 3 seconds. So yeah, with this, I'm going to assume that it still takes 3 seconds to go off. But now it's just an instant rather than a channel, so you can move at the same time.
Yeah, I guess it just causes a 3-second global cooldown or something. I don't know.
No, it's probably a 1.5 global cooldown, but it's just a.
It goes on for 3 seconds.
You can move. Basically, you can move while doing it. That's
okay. Oh, okay.
You can clip it anyway, can't you? So I
it's
guess
a root. So
okay. They've removed Oppressor, and they've removed Emboldening Scream.
Yeah, so we saw these merged, right, with some of the stuff above.
No.
I think Oppressor was
the 0.5 global cooldown, no rage, chilling scream. That was the.
And I don't see that anywhere.
That's gone now, yeah. And chilling scream increases the movement speed of your allies by 50% for 8 seconds. That's gone now as well. Okay. Moving on to Sith Marauders / Jedi Sentinel. So the same thing with this, guys. Ravage has been turned into an instant ability. The weapon form is now passive, and the 60-second droid met has been removed. So the rest is the same. I won't dwell on the ones that are the same. It's literally exactly the same here. Ravage is now an instant. Force Scream does 9.2 less damage, and Intimidating Roar no longer affects droids. So changes there.
No, it affects droids now, doesn't it?
Beg your pardon, it affects it. I'm
terribly
sorry. Yeah, terribly sorry. So yeah, the other ones are just wording ones. So the default ones, rather than saying enters, it says utilize, and that just is a straight replacement for your stances. Cosmetic changes, again, are just wording changes. These ones haven't been finished, actually, guys. I do have a list of the Marauder changes on here, so we can go through these if you want to, but these aren't actually listed on the website yet. So Marauder, I believe, is the bottom one here. I'll get to these in a second then. Okay. So we've got discipline changes. Bloody Slashes, Burning Slices was moved from Carnage to Fury. Make up for it, Carnage has part of the effect from Execute. Opportune Attack split into a new passive. Disembowel, Excise, because Ataro Form is now a passive, they also earned a new ability, Gore or Lance. Annihilation did not receive a new passive because they received the Duo Form passive instead. So Bloody Slashes, passive. Damage dealt by Ravage stacks a bleeding effect on the target that builds up to 3 charges and deals X damage over 9 seconds, internal damage. And Shicho Mastery, rather than increasing armor pen by 15, increases arm pen by 15 and force attack by 3%. So it's pretty much the same as the Juggernaut changes here. Pretty much the same.
Yeah. Basically, Saber Mastery is just merged into every individual lightsaber form, basically. So there's no change there. They're just worded it differently. Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Just to clarify something for chat here very quickly, they've removed the stance requirement for guard, and they haven't restricted guard. So the only assumption you can really come to is that guard is now baseline for all classes, regardless of what stance they're in. We don't know whether they're going to attach that to the stance at a later date. Just that's how the information is right now. So as it stands right now, if it was live, then DPS can guard. There's more cosmetic changes again, which is literally just changing the wording. Rupture, that's been changed, and now it does an additional bleed. So it's a wording change, more cosmetic changes. There's a new icon for Geo Mastery, in case anyone wanted a new icon. Your bleed effects are 2% more likely to crit per stack of Geo form, which is the same thing as before. So Gore is the new ability for Carnage. 15 seconds, 4 meter range, 3 focus. Rage, I guess that will be. Impales the target with both lightsabers, dealing X damage and hindering the target for 1.5 seconds, preventing the use of high mobility actions and escapes. Requires 2 lightsabers. So it's basically like an electronet then, I guess, for 1.5 seconds.
Yeah. I'm not too sure of this. I mean, I don't see where the 100% armor penetration has gone. It looks like they've removed it.
It's a new ability.
Ferocity? Is that how it's pronounced? It's later down the list, so.
Right, okay. It's just going to be interesting to play that out with the rotation. And
the other passive they get is Disembowel. Gore sunders the target for 45 seconds, then the targets have their armor rating reduced by 20%. So 20%.
That's good. That's pretty good, because usually what you would do is you'd have Gore and then you'd have your Devastating Blast, and your Devastating Blast on a proc would put that sunder on the target, but now it makes more sense because now your target's already going to be sundered for your Devastating Blast. So this is a good buff.
It also pretty much guarantees you can Gore and Ravage, isn't it? Because you can.
Straight out. Yeah, you wouldn't have to set it up with a previous Devastating Blast. You can just go in with it. So yeah, it's a good buff.
Okay, so there's a slight change then on Execute. The passive was damage dealt by a Taro Form. Now it's dealing damage with a Taro Form strike. That's Execute, making your next Force Scream or Devastating Blast deal 5% more damage. That Sunder used to be built into this. Now it's obviously been put into that passive. So it's a bit easier. Yeah. Some more cosmetic changes. Just again wording, and Berserk, that's the same thing. So you have Ferocity, that's been renamed. So Gore has been renamed to Ferocity. Increases armor penetration by 100% for 3 seconds. Requires 2 lightsabers.
I guess it will work the same way Gore works at the moment, because I don't see any cooldown there or anything, but I guess it just works the same.
Yeah, I wonder, is that going to be a new button? I guess it is. A new button. Yeah,
it's going to be a new button in the rotation, it looks like.
So you would Ferocity Gore Ravage, I guess, or something along those lines?
I don't know.
Sorry, other way around.
No, I think you'd want the Gore last. Yeah. Well, the Gore just before the Ravage. So you'd set up with your Gore, and then your Ferocity, and then your Ravage,
Okay, so utility changes. It's saying they're being analysed, but I've got some of them here. on a text document. So I'll just read them out here. And again, please take this with a pinch of salt. These aren't confirmed or anything along those lines. Thirst or Rage. Bloodthirst generates 12 Rage while activated and heals you for 1% of your maximum health whenever you activate an ability that consumes Rage. It gives you 12 Rage and you get a 1% heal whenever you use an ability that uses Rage. Okay. Callous Aggressor. Vicious Throw refunds 2 Rage when used on a target affected by your Obfuscate, and can be used on any target affected by your Obfuscate, regardless of the remaining health. Activating Obfuscate, my god, why is that word so hard to say? Also grants you Callous Aggressor, increasing your force and tech resistance by 75% for X seconds. That's pretty good.
That's a good buff. That's good.
Paste down the chat there. Yeah, it gives you 2 Rage back when you use Vicious Throw. If it's on someone who you've used Obfuscate, and if you have used Obfuscate, then regardless of the health, it'll go off, and it also gives you a 75%.
Yeah, that's good.
Force and tech
Very
resistance.
Because I think so far Obfuscate only reduced ranged and melee accuracy of the target, but now it gives you something against.
This will be really good in ranked as well. If you're going to get focused and like this could be a really good defensive.
Oh, and it's off the global cooldown, right? I think.
Oh, you have to use Vicious Throw.
As far as I'm aware, yep.
It's vicious.
So yeah, you have to throw in with Vicious Throw.
Oh no, I beg your pardon. No, it's just Obfuscate that does that.
Vicious Throw refunds 2 Rage when used on the target effectively.
Yeah, it's procs.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So it's activating Obfuscate also grants. So yeah. But
it says X seconds, so I guess it depends on how it's tied into. Like, if it's 1 second, that's not great. If it's 20 seconds, it's OP, So that the X seconds is quite a big caveat there. The next one is Skulking Savagery. While Force Camouflage is active, you gain a charge of Skulking Savagery every 0.5 seconds. Each charge increases the damage dealt by your next melee attack by 4%, stacks up to 12 charges, and lasts for 6 seconds after exiting Force Camouflage. So I guess you could Force Camo, then go into the Gore Ferocity.
Do you mind pasting that in chat again?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, this is kind of not really a game changer, but this is going to change how you sort of your mind frame is as a marauder, especially with arenas, because usually, you're thinking, oh, do I really want to use my Force Camouflage at the beginning? This is a good defensive to have. I might want to keep this if I get focused, but now you're changing that. You're going in with it, and this could be a big change. If you've got someone else on your team helping you out, if you go for a single target like a Merc on the other team, and you've got a stun ready, hard stun, you can come in pretty hard now. So this would be interesting to see how marauder players utilize this.
How long is Force Camouflage?
There is another utility that makes it last a little bit longer.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they've removed that or they're changing that, but it's definitely over 3 or 4 seconds. It's like 6 seconds. So
I'm guessing 12 is the full duration, yeah?
Yeah, you can get a big amount of stacks then, I guess.
So that would be a 48% damage increase in the next melee ability. Which would be Gore, I guess, in this situation, if you do that.
We don't... Definitely. Yeah, you would definitely be going with that. So it'd be interesting to see how that plays out.
Wait, when you say Gore, do we know how much damage Gore deals? Like,
no,
in relation?
All the damage is just X damage. So
yeah, because so far it looks to me like Gore will be more useful as for the hindered debuff it puts on the target and not for damage itself.
Yeah, but you'd have to do that. It's your next ability. So maybe you could go with Ravage. I don't know. I mean,
you'd go with Devastating Blast, I'd imagine.
Devastating Blast, okay. And the next one is Interloper. Force Charge grants Interloper, allowing you to activate Force Charge a second time. Interloper lasts 7.5 seconds, and is removed, if Force Charge is reused. If Interloper is not utilized by the end of its duration, Force Charged is placed on a 7.5 second cooldown. In addition, Force Charge now builds 2 Fury. But it's basically just a buff to Force Charge, I guess.
It's a second charge. This could be really good if you're coming up against a Merc who's sort of jetted away from you. You may be able to go back in and close in on him or something like this. It could be really good for Hubble.
This is the same as Roll, isn't it? Essentially, without the immunity.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So now what you could do is get the ball, leap over, then leap to someone, and then mad dash to the line. So no more overload operative.
OP Force Charge.
It is a tier 4 utility from my notes. They could change that at any point, so I really don't know. So it is a utility. Just gonna highlight that. I mean, this isn't like a passive thing where operatives get the 2 roles. This is a utility.
It's pretty good, though. I mean, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, I'd love to try this out.
Okay, so let's go back to the changes. Sins and Shadows. 2 non-instant abilities are now for Sorcs and Sages only. Phase Walk is now... Oh, no, really? Phase Walk is now for Sorcs and Sages only. What?
It hurts.
They took it off Sins and give it to Sorcs. That's so cheeky.
To be honest,
it's funny because Sins were the ones who
cheeky
got that who got that originally. Then they gave it to Sorcerers as well. And now they take it from us.
Is this the new thing?
Weird.
Rather than giving things to Sorcs, they just take them from other classes. In before
hurts.
6.0 Shadows, Sorcs get roll. They get shoulder cannon.
Oh.
Okay. Well,
I have heard Sins say that they don't need it though. I've heard.
Well, then
from
those
plenty of
Sins
Sins.
haven't dueled operatives or sorcerers or whatever.
Well, there you go.
People don't need Lamborghinis, but they still buy them. So yeah, but Blackout is now merged into Stealth. Guard can be used by DPS players, and the whole charge thing is static. So removed abilities. This is for Sins and Shadows. Lightning has been removed. Crushing Dankness has been removed. And Phase Walk
Dankness.
What?
Well, so ops don't get their snipe combo, and I don't get my crushing darkness combo. Like,
There you go.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess
That's how it is now.
I guess they
Force
watched,
lightning. I mean, that's part of my rotation. What the hell?
I guess they watched everyone mess up their combo rotations, and they thought, "Oh, we'll just take it out of the game. It's too difficult." I can't believe they removed Phase Walk, man. That's insane.
I know it's.
Okay. Anyway,
I just imagine we get something else, either a defensive cooldown or something that gives us mobility in exchange for that, because I can't see them taking this from us without giving us anything in return, to be honest.
we'll get to those in a second. I've got some preliminary lists as well. So yeah, Shock is nerfed by 4.1. Electrocute is nerfed by 2.2. Percent, this is guys, by the way. Slow is nerfed by 4.7. Oh, thank God that's happened. 4 slow damage was OP.
That fucks up my burst combo, but whatever.
And Blackout has been removed, so now you also have that passive 15 levels of stealth.
The thing is, you can use Blackout as Perception out of stealth for some nice damage reduction. So I guess that's going to be part of some other utility now.
Possibly. Recklessness has now been changed, so now rather than saying it increases the range of Force Lightning, that's now gone. So
yeah, we don't have the ability anymore.
Well, hang on a second. This will make up for the lack of Phase Walk. Phantom Stride now has a new icon.
Oh, thank God.
It looks pretty cool as well.
It looks like they've just toggled them. They've actually toggled from the rep side to the imp side.
They just changed the color by the looks of things.
They've just swapped the icons around.
Well, it makes sense that it's purple, given the other, but I mean, I don't care. I'm not looking at the icons while playing.
The other ones are just stance changes. They've just reworded the phrases slightly to do with being passive rather than active. Guard no longer requires Dark Charge. Assassin's Training no longer increases the base damage dealt by Shock by 17%. So.
Damn it.
Discipline changes. Hatred Serenity receives a new passive at level 68. Deception gets a new ability because the stance was turned from an ability to a passive. Darkness and Kinetic Combat receives no new passive because it now has a passive stance. Because of the loss of Force Lightning, Depredating Volts replaced by a new ability. Are not yet included in the files. I think I might have these here, so we'll go through those. We'll go through those now.
I guess given what they did to Ravage, is going to be another instant ability, because even though it was a channel right now, but you can use it while moving and everything. But still, I think they're just going to make it something that's instant.
Okay, let's just go through these quickly then. We got Hatred. The new level 68 ability is Sinister Succor. The damage dealt by Leech and Strike is increased by 5% for each of your active periodic damaging effects on the target, stacks up to 3 times. So basically, for every dot you have, Leech and Strike does 5% more damage.
Yeah, this is weird. So they're saying for each periodic damaging effect on the target, and then say stacks up to 3 times, because 3 is the maximum dots you have anyway. So I don't know why they mentioned that, but hey.
Clarity. I guess.
I don't know. Maybe because some things since think that they're missing a dot. But now they know, I can only have 3 stacks anyway.
Okay, Then you've got Rage, which has been updated. So now melee attacks to strike a target affected by your discharge grant Rage. I think this is just a wording change on this one. Making your next demolish. So yeah, it's just the ones that have been trimmed out and the new replacements have been put back in again. Additionally, activating Phantom Stride grants Raise but raise cannot occur more than once every 9 seconds.
Yeah, that's been in there before. They literally just got rid of Crushing Darkness.
And also Bloodletting,
have it.
the passive, is no longer triggered by Phantom Stride. Just a periodic damage and effect with a 30% chance. So the on Creep and Terror was nerfed by 2.9%, Demolish was nerfed by 4.9%, and Deathfield was nerfed by 6%.
I really don't get the DPS nerfs though. It's not like since we're doing so much damage.
Yeah, not anymore at least, you know.
Not anymore, no, I know. But I guess that maybe that's an issue for them. Maybe they don't want to get into that situation again where you're stacking.
Well, if you're thinking about PvE, they are like doing almost the least amount of possible DPS.
Yeah,
true.
I understand it.
Okay, Dreadful Nightmares now only affects Demolish. Deception has a new ability called Reaping Strike. Granted at level 10. Oh, that's pretty low then. That's good. 4 meters, 15 force, cooldown 18 seconds. Lash the target with an acrobatic strike. Did an X weapon damage. Only usable from stealth or within 15 seconds of performing a critical strike. Requires a double-bladed lightsaber or electro staff. That's pretty cool. I mean, it's an extra button to press after a crit or from stealth. I guess that's going to be your new.
Looks like a backstab.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah. And well, it looks like you can basically use it all the time. I mean, within 15 seconds of the critical strike, the crit chances are so high nowadays. So. Well,
it's got an 18-second cooldown, so the odds you're not critting over 18 seconds is pretty. Yeah. It's Reaping Strike, J-Bag. Reaping with an E. Dark Embrace.
Depends on how you use it, I guess.
Dark Embrace, while in stealth mode for 15 seconds after leaving stealth, force regeneration is increased by 25%. So it's a longer increase, but it's a less increase. So that's a buff, I guess, technically.
This is interesting.
That makes it a little better, I guess.
Yeah.
You get 3 seconds more, 25%, so it is a gain.
Yeah, it is.
Dark Swell. Sorry.
This just encourages Maul spam, I guess.
I guess you're gonna like this one, yeah. Maul.
I'm looking forward to
grants 6 seconds. What?
With Dark Embrace. So you before you had Dark Embrace the whole time while you were in stealth and for 6 seconds after leaving stealth, but now apparently you just get it by using Maul.
Yeah, so Maul will give you 15 force and reduce damage by 15%. Maul spam, boys.
Yep. I guess that's a good change because
now you can spam Maul.
Well, yeah, obviously, and I mean it's part of your rotation now, basically. You know, you don't have to use a 1 minute cooldown. It's tied into it, yeah.
You Maul, Reap and Strike, Maul, Reap and Strike, Maul.
Lacerate, Maul.
Is that pretty much it?
AoE taunt for those off heals, you know. Yeah. I guess it's more intuitive and better than to use a 1 minute cooldown every time you run out of force.
Just press Maul. I mean, to be honest, pretty much since just triple spam Maul anyway, don't they? So why not? Since some cosmetic changes again here, which is just based around your stances, and Depredating Volts has been changed to Discharge Darkness. I'm not really sure what this does because everything's been
nothing. Just nothing.
I'm not sure what that does. Updated is Mountain Darkness. Deflection grants Mountain Darkness, causing all enemies within 8 meters to deal 15% less force and tech damage. This effect lasts for the duration of deflection. Additionally, damage dealt by discharge and wither is increased by 30%.
That's nice.
That's pretty nice, yeah. I mean, so far deflection has only been for melee and ranged attacks, and only on you.
Yeah.
But now it looks like it has another nice element, for both peeling and for example, deflection is pretty useless against operatives, and maybe with that, it's not like that anymore.
Okay. And also you have Premonition, which is updated. Now it increases your stealth detection levels by 5. Cool.
But
base is 15, so it's pretty much irrelevant, really. You'll see them closer, I guess. Like you'll see them when they check in the fill-ins in your teeth. You'll notice, but that's about the only time you will, really.
Yeah.
15 increased levels of stealth baseline is a lot more substantial than people actually think.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how the stealth levels work, but wouldn't that mean, for example, 15 stealth levels means a level 50 is in stealth, and the other guy is basically treated as a level 35 Isn't that how it
The easiest
works?
way to think of it is, Mark, you know when you use blackout to increase your stealth to walk past people? It's that all the time.
Yeah. I get that, but just for future reference, it is even possible to see them if you're right under their nose or something, or if it's just flat out impossible.
I've never been found when I have sneak up. No, never hit me.
No.
Okay.
Alright.
The rest of them is pretty much the same. Dark charge active. Okay, updated lightning reflexes. Additionally, something exactly the same. Okay, so I've got some copy and paste here for the sin abilities. That's already on there. Reaping Strike is already on there. Okay, so you've got Reaper's Rush. This looks like a utility. Paste this in the chat.
I'm guessing it has something to do with. Oh, Phantom Stride. Okay.
Okay, so Phantom Stride grants Reaper's Rush, allowing your next assassinate to be used on any target, regardless of health. Reaper's Rush lasts for 10 seconds. Additionally, if the target of your Phantom Stride is killed within 6 seconds of using Phantom Stride, the cooldown is reset on Phantom Stride. That's pretty good. I mean, it's a nice finisher. It's a nice opener.
Yeah, but the thing is, why? I mean, if the target is already low and you're about to finish him off, why would you need to be able to use it on a target with any remaining?
The idea is, if you see someone on low health, you can Phantom Stride over, assassinate, and then Phantom Stride to someone else.
Yeah,
I guess.
I think that's the point. I mean, you'd be able to move around the map, dot around a lot quicker.
If you see someone on low health,
if it works, if it even works, it doesn't teleport you at the, in the sky.
Yeah, this is in theory. So yeah.
Yeah, it also has to be your target as well. So it has to be the person you actually went across to. Then you have Retaliatory Grip. Deflection grants Retaliatory Grip, reflecting 50% or 100 for darkness of all of all direct single target tech and force damage back at the attacker. Retaliatory Grip lasts for 12 seconds and does not absorb incoming damage. So it's a reflect that does not actually stop the damage, but hits them back in the face. The same amount of damage.
All direct single target tech and force damage. Okay. Well, I was just saying how deflection is useless against operatives.
That's pretty strong.
Yeah.
50% reflect for 12 seconds. Why is
Well,
it
2 minutes
12 seconds? What's the cooldown?
2 minutes.
That's pretty good.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, that ability is very good.
Not bad.
That's gonna make
What do you mean not bad?
people think twice.
No, I'm saying it eases the pain a little bit. After the changes we just saw, it helps.
If you're in darkness, you will just reflect all burst damage from.
You still take the damage though. You still take the damage. So if they've got 30k health and you've got 20k health, if they do 20k, they're on 10. You're dead.
Yeah, but I guess coupled with Shroud, maybe that's very powerful.
Yeah, I think
that would be 2 cooldowns and everything. So yeah,
I think a 12-second reflect is pretty powerful. Yeah, personally, that's how I feel about a 12-second reflect.
Yeah, indeed.
Just my opinion on it, but 12 seconds of reflection.
We'll see.
Pretty strong.
I'm happy.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go on to our overlords here, our Sith sorcerers. Thrash was removed. Oh man, what about melee sorcs, man? They've gone. What? Saber Strike auto attack remains available. Oh, amazing. Although there's a new legendary utility that replaces Saber Strike with Enfeebling Lash. 6-second cooldown that immobilizes players for 3 seconds. What the bloody Jesus?
That's pretty crazy.
Oh, I'm so glad they put more roots in here. I forgot 2 assassin utilities. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me just double check this. Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I did miss 2 of them. I beg your pardon. Thank you very much, Coconut. Also, this is for sins now, not sorcs. Wicked Vivacity. Unnatural Preservation increases your damage reduction by 15% for 6 seconds. Additionally, reduces the cooldown of Unnatural Preservation by 5 seconds. Okay, I mean that seems pretty reasonable. Enfeebling Lash. Oh, it's the same one. Oh, these are for Sorcs, aren't they? This isn't the wrong one. Sorry, I beg your pardon. No, this is Sorc. I beg your pardon.
About to say, why do we have Unnatural Preservation?
I've done all the different changes. Then they're all on here. Mountain Darkness I've done. Reap and Strike I've done. So no, they've all been covered from that sheet you sent me. I've done them all. Sorry, back to the Sorcs one. Beg your pardon about that. Force Lightning is now base 30 meters rather than 10. Damage was nerfed by 9.8%. Crushing Dankness is now 30 meters again rather than 10. Damage nerfed by 4.3. Shock nerfed by 4.1. Electrocute 2.2. Slow by 4.7. Phase Walk is now a 60-second cooldown rather than 45.
Well, at least I still have it, right?
Lightning Strike is nerfed.
Feels bad, man.
Lightning Strike is nerfed by 4.7, Affliction by 3.1, Force Storm by 10.3. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah,
if you ask me.
Tank Heal is nerfed by 7.4. Oh, it's actually a healing nerf. Wow.
Wow.
Okay. So let's go into the discipline changes. So these are available at level 68. Convulsing Currents, passive, increases the damage dealt by shock by 20% on targets affected by Crushing Darkness. And that's a lightning ability. So shock does 20% more damage. Telekinetic Gust. Sorry. Pretty funny title. Damage is nerfed by 3.5. Telekinetic Wave is nerfed by 6.8. There's a lot of nerfs here. Telekinetic Burst by 5.7. Turbulence by 3.5. I think these have been flipped over to the wrong side here. That's meant to be Chain Lightning, Lightning Bolt, and Thundering Blast there. Okay, so on to Madness. You've got Death Ripple. Is this actually an ability? I thought this was just a mistake. Okay. Granted at level 68, targets hit by Death Field have a 50% chance to emit a Death Ripple, damaging targets within 5 meters of the original target for X internal damage.
So
more damage.
More damage on Death Field, basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
It increases the AOE as well. Pretty good.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, because it damages within 5 meters of the target by. Oh, I beg your pardon. No, it doesn't increase the reach. More damage.
No, because I mean Death Field is AOE as it is, and now it's just more damage.
I read that wrong. I thought it was from the person that hit. Beg your pardon. Force Leech is now nerfed by 3.6%, Creeping Terror by 2.9%, Demolish by 4.9%, Death Field by 6%. What? Lightning Burns now restores 2 focus and deals 1 energy damage to the target. Oh, sorry, X energy damage to the target. So, Lightning Burns has been updated slightly. Pretty much the same thing. Wording change. So.
Okay, wait, I'm still kind of curious about Death Ripple now. So. Let's just pretend you have a Void Star, you know, and it's one of those fun games where you're all standing at the door and stack up. And you're just throwing a Death Field in there. How many people can you hit with a Death Field?
8,
4?
I believe, isn't it?
Or
8.
is it even 8? But
I think
all these targets that I hit have a 50% chance to get one of those Death Ripples. So that might stack up to some crazy damage.
No, I think it would be like a 50% chance to emit a ripple, which will damage 5 meters of targets. So
yeah,
just one ripple.
One ripple per Death Field, okay. Yeah, because otherwise it would have been a bit mad.
That would be
madness.
No, I think it's per target. Targets hit, which is plurals. Targets hit by Death Field with 50% chance. So assuming all 8 proc, you have 8 procs of this. Whatever the damage is goes off 8 times.
Yeah, exactly. We don't know what the damage is, but yeah, that has.
Okay. But I hope it's massive. The rest is getting nerfed by quite a lot, though. So.
Yeah. Big nerfs.
So Corruption gets Forbidden Fervor. Static Barrier. Oh, here we go. This is going to be good. Hang on. Static Barrier grants 10 charges of Forbidden Fervor to the target. When Static Barrier concludes, the target is healed for X health per remaining charge. Targets of your Forbidden Fervor will lose the charge of Forbidden Fervor each time you directly heal them. Okay, so that's a pretty.
I really hope those
buff.
charges won't be doing a lot of heals, because that could be a lot of heals.
Because that's like a set and forget it barrier, then, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's like a 6 or 8k absorb, and then a small heal added. Well, we don't know how big the heal is, but
yeah.
Don't forget Bubble Pop.
That's only on the person. That's only the person that has it, though. This is for people you put it on to.
Yeah, Mac.
Oh, only? Oh, really? To the time. Oh, okay. I thought also.
It's a pretty solid buff. Barrier. So, sorry guys, just to go over the whole PvE side of things. I mean, the nerf to damage is pretty big for PvE, I guess. It's really hard to try and tell you whether these changes will be impactful on PvE, because it depends on what the PvE setup is and what the fights are. A lot of variables to it, and we don't actually know the fixed numbers. So it does more damage if things are clustered. You can kind of work out there will be an increase, yes, PvE. That specific talent and that specific. I don't think you need just to say that for each ability. Like when I say, for example, Dark Infusion is healed by 5.4%, I shouldn't need to say, well, that makes healing worse for PvE. You can kind of work that out yourself. Roman Mend is nerfed by 2.5%, and Effacious Currents also increases the damage absorbed by your static barrier by 10%. It does the same thing, reduces the force consumed by static barrier by 15, increases the duration, reduces the duration of de-ionize by 5 seconds, also increases the damage absorbed by 10%. It looks like Bubble is the way that they're going then. Bubble is the new...
That Bubble, that 10% used to be a separate utility. I think they just made it baseline to the Bubble now.
Okay. So the utilities aren't listed on the website at the moment, but I do have some here. And first one, I'm just going to say it out loud right now. This is absolutely batshitting insane.
I think I know which one.
Okay, so Surge in Speed. Surge in Speed reduces the cooldown. Oh, I just lost it. Hang on. Surge in Speed reduces the cooldowns of Force Speed by 5 seconds, Force Slow by 3 seconds, Force Barrier by 30 seconds. In addition, Force Speed lasts 0.5 seconds longer. Polarity Shift increases your movement speed by 100% while active, and the active cooldown of Force Speed is finished when Force Barrier ends.
Yeah, that's a big change. It's a very big change. I guess you have
How
to
long is
count
Polarity Shift?
12 seconds, or is it 10?
Yeah, something around that.
So you have to use roots and slows, stuns, I guess.
And the cooldown on Polarity Shift is 2 minutes or 130?
I'm not sure.
I genuinely don't know. I was hoping to get a Sorc in for this one because I have like no experience with the Sorc.
It does have a casting time though, so I don't know if that means that there's enough
shift.
time to interrupt this.
Polarity Shift's an instant.
Yeah, it doesn't have a cast.
It's your offensive cooldown, isn't it?
It increases your alacrity
So
and makes you immune to interrupts.
The base is 10 seconds, is 15 seconds in lightning apparently. So you're looking at...
Sorry, I disconnected.
Oh, sorry, buddy. You're looking at 10 seconds of 100% movement speed increase.
No, but the surging speed has a casting time. I don't know why. It's just what I'm reading. Maybe it's slightly different to what you've got.
Surge in speed is... Oh, right, the actual cast time of that one, I beg your pardon. Okay. I don't see that on here, so I don't know.
But I was talking with Ark about this one, about the 100% speed increase. And because it's on Polarity Shift, it's maybe not that useful as you think, because Polarity Shift is mostly used for burst healing. And so when you're burst healing, you mostly use like Dark Heal or Dark Infusion, I think it's called.
Yeah.
And those are channels, so you can even be moving while using it.
Yeah, I feel the pain of not being able to use 100% movement speed 10 seconds because you want to channel some heals, but I also see the huge benefit of being able to run at mount speed for 10 seconds or 15, depending on your spec.
I think what Ark meant is that this won't be much of a change for PvE because you don't really need to kite around, but PvP is to be a big change.
Yeah,
this isn't a PvE talent. I wouldn't say no. I don't really see how.
Yeah, because you can use like Enervate, your instant heart, roaming men. They're all instants, and then you get other instants as well.
That's insanity, as far as I'm concerned.
And still they keep face walk. But whatever. Okay.
I feel so sorry for you.
It's okay. I'll live.
I don't know how you deal with an incredibly mobile healer that can literally run to the other side of the map like twice as fast
in 2 seconds. People were asking for Sorcs to fly, but I think we're still pretty close.
This is the best they could do with the engine, I guess.
Yeah, basically, if you pop this before, like on the top scaffold in a hat ball, and then jump off, and just like channel your R. Kelly, I believe I can fly, and that's it.
I gotta ask, what tier is this utility in?
I don't know, and that doesn't say on here.
I think it will most likely be in the last tier.
It must be absolutely, and
I
well
think
then
so.
maybe
no one takes.
I mean, it is a 2-minute cooldown, I think. So and you have to potentially have to lose another useful utility for that. So.
Mark,
I mean, it sounds.
Look, I hear you being all rational and like trying to diffuse the situation of us overreacting to a talent that is in the game we haven't seen play. But no, the riot is in full force.
Okay, I won't try to play rightfully then.
All right, so next one up, Corrupted Barrier. Let me just paste this in the chat here again.
Yep.
You have Static Barrier, Force Barrier, Enduring Bastion. Heal you for 1% of your total health every second for as long as they last. This healing scales up to 4% with the charges for Enduring Bastion.
Yeah, that one is already in game, but this is just a nerf.
Yeah, the healing's been
it's a nerf.
the healing's been half now. They
It
used
was
to be
2%.
2%.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
8%.
it was 2%.
Then you
Well,
have
then everything is alright. Okay.
then you have Empty Body. So Empty Body increases all healing received by 5%. Does not affect stolen life.
That's also a nerf, right? It was
Yeah,
tested.
also a nerf. Yeah.
Okay. Dizzying Force. Dizzying Force reduces target's accuracy by 20% for 8 seconds after whirlwind ends, so it's the same as Flash Powder. Additionally, your whirlwind affects up to 2 additional standard or weak enemies within 8 meters of the target. Is that a squish?
That's a squish.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shapeless Spirits.
It's a rather useless squish for PvP.
It's not bad for PvE though, especially if you're leveling. I mean, I guess that's okay for
Yeah.
additional CC. Reduces all damage taken while stunned by 30%. Additionally, reduces damage taken from AoE by 30%.
Oh, I think they didn't have the AoE,
Yeah, the AoE
reduction.
Yeah, the AoE reduction is added to that.
That's new.
Pretty good.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So
I mean, some classes have that baseline, but now Sorcs have it as an utility. I mean, they had the stun reduction, but still.
Okay, so the next one is Shift in Silhouette. Using Phase Walk to return to its marked location grants Shift in Silhouette, keeping you from being leapt to or pulled, and making you immune to interrupts and ability activation pushback for the next 10 seconds. Additionally, the cooldown of Phase Walk is reduced by 15 seconds, and defenses are increased by 30% for the duration of Shift in Silhouette.
That's just a buff.
Yeah.
You think?
I mean, not a merge with anything else. That's just
a new one.
straight
Yeah,
out new. Yeah,
that's a
new
10 second, 30% defense, along with push-pull, leap immunity.
Yeah.
Well, it says lap to a pull. I'm assuming push doesn't work as well, but it doesn't specify push.
No, I would assume it works then, to be honest. I mean, if they really only say leapt and pull.
I'm going to assume that means push as well, because it's the same type of effect. But,
Well, no, I don't think it means push, because I think the left part is to stop melee jumping to as soon as you use Phase Walk.
Yeah, and pull would be just
okay, yeah, so
or
push.
Powertech pull.
It's to stop people getting on top of you straight away.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense then.
10
Suppressions.
seconds though? Isn't that a little too much?
That is a bit long.
What was the one again for the
Yeah,
reflect,
it's long.
Mac?
Shut up. We're talking about something that that's super useful for kiting and has a 60-second cooldown. Yada yada. Nah, whatever. I'm not going to get into that.
So suppression's been removed, force haste has been removed, and the other new one is lightning barrier. Your static barrier crackles with electricity, shocking attackers for X energy damage when it absorbs direct damage to you. The fact does not affect static barriers placed on allies and cannot occur more than once each second. It's just like a
that's-
energy
That's
shield
basically
type
what
thing.
Powertech's can get.
Yeah, that's a bit like Bounty Hunter's utility.
I don't see that as being too useful.
I'm not
to be
sure.
honest.
I'm not sure if it will be good. Depends on how much energy damage it will do. Actually, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's get on to the change that everyone cares about the most. Operatives.
Oh, we already covered sins.
Lol.
Sneak has
Eight.
been merged into stealth, so now they have a baseline plus 15. Slice droid has been removed, but they still have a 60-second mez from stealth for non-droids. Yeah, so that's sap. Cover has been removed. It is now baseline for snipers and gunslingers only. Snipe.
Rest in peace.
Snipe was removed.
Quick capping.
Yeah, I know, and I
Oh, you have to de-stealth
yeah.
manually, huh?
yeah, like some
it's
kind of
so-
peasant.
Yeah.
Snipe has been removed as well, so no snipe, no cover. Rest in
Good
peace.
change, if you ask me.
Well, at least it's not as bad
Dropped.
as. At least it's not as bad as losing Phase Walk or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
It hurts.
I don't think cover being removed really has any change, to be honest with you.
Nah.
That's pretty much done. Yeah, Coconut we've done Enfeebling and Lash, mate. That was one of the first ones we went through. Snipe being removed doesn't really have any impact, I don't think. I know people did the combo thing in duels, but they often messed it up anyway, so this might be a stealth buff to those players, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they're dependent on that. They literally just did it because they could, because they had those 1.5 seconds.
And I don't really think this is a change for PvE, really. Is anyone using Snipe much in PvE?
Yeah,
Maybe,
all
I
the time.
guess.
Sometimes,
Yeah, maybe if you're stuck somewhere and you really need to hit.
If you get the roll bug, maybe, yeah. If you get the roll bug, you're just gonna sit down and use snipe instead, yeah. All right, so that's a straight nerf there, guys. If you have the roll bug now, you can't do anything. Yeah, level 2. I did like doing snipe at the end of games. I liked sniping snipers just to kind of kill them with snipe, just as a little.
To make them reconsider their choices.
Yeah, you made a mistake here, yeah. Anyway, so the changes to your stealth is now baseline increased by 15. The rest is the same. Sneak is removed, take cover is removed, crouch is removed, snipe is removed, slice droid is removed. So we'll do the healing changes first of all. The medic passive you get at level 68 is Curative Swell. Call to Infusion grants Curative Swell, increasing the critical chance of your next surgical probe by 100%. This effect cannot occur this effect can only occur, beg your pardon, once every 18 seconds. For every 18 seconds, you get 100% crit on surgical probe. What is the cooldown on surgical probe?
no cooldown. It just requires TA.
Oh yeah, TA. Sorry, that's that. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty
So
good.
I'm not sure how Optimus work.
burst.
Their single target burst healing a bit lackluster.
Yeah, it helps. It helps a bit.
Okay.
Well, with the changes to crit in 4.0, it'll help a bit. Like the super crit, where crit gets merged into a crit multiplier. But when I spoke to Kat about it, she wasn't too happy. I know he wasn't too happy.
Oh, I think we just lost Thor. Okay. Next up, we have lethality, everyone's favorite spec. Erosive.
Oh yeah.
Erosive aphasia. I don't even know how you say that. Lethal strike grants erosive something or other, increasing the critical chance and critical damage or critical healing your periodic effects by 30% for 6 seconds. So it's 30% crit chance and crit damage to dots and hots for 6 seconds after lethal strike.
So it looks like they're giving it a little bit of a buff.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty big buff, actually. To think about it. It's a 6-second 30% surge increase. Now, what I wonder is whether that surge is double dipped. Because it's a 30% crit in chance, that should overlap as well onto your surge, shouldn't it? Because your surge is crit rate in. So I wonder whether it's actually a 60% increase to critical damage.
No, I don't think so.
Sure? Because critical chance is critical damage. Maybe it's separate. I don't know. But
No, I think so.
I have that checked out.
No, I don't think so either. I think.
Yeah, it's just separate.
Yeah.
Something to try out.
30 and 30, okay.
Yeah.
And the level 60 passive was nerfed, so previously cut down was doing too much damage, I guess. It used to have, additionally, after using lethal strike, you get cut down for 6 seconds, which increases the damage done of corrosive grenade and corrosive dart by 10%. So that's gone now. The rest is still in place. So you lose 10% damage.
Thank God. Overload shot and carbine burst. Oh.
Well, you lose yourself 10% damage, but you also gain 30% crit damage and crit rating. So, what do you think about operatives running?
It will be a buff after all, I think.
Well, they'll be running at about 70% crit, I should assume. I'm not sure how the stats will work on this one, but I would guess about 70% crit rating, and probably 70% and 100% surge damage when that procs. So that's quite a decent damage increase.
Yeah. That's good.
Okay, I gotta say, right? I know I play concealment, so I'm tremendously biased, but this talent is absolutely batshit insane, right? Oh no, I beg your pardon. This is the wrong one.
I was just about to say,
This is the wrong one. Forget what I just said. Never mind. So concealment gets mutilating methods. Damage dealt by volatile substance marks the target with mutilating methods, allowing your next backstab against the target to be usable while face to face with the target and treated although you attacked from stealth. So basically the way this works is once you've used volatile substance, you can backstab them in the face, and it does 25% more damage. 25% is the damage increase that you get from stealth. So that is a straight up buff. It's pretty much a 25% damage increase to backstab. You're generally going to be overlapping.
I find this interesting. The cooldown on volatile substance is what, 12 seconds? Something
It's
like
15.
15. And there are some utilities that buff your backstab, I think, like immobilizing the target or something. So those talents now might, not be as...
No, they're still garbage.
Well, yeah, obviously, but not as garbage as before. But still garbage.
No one's going to use that. But this is good because it's basically a flat 25%. On a single target, it's a 25% increased damage to backstab, which is nice. And also you can backstab them in the face, which I like because if you ever watch me
play on the American server.
Well, if you ever see me running around a target 8 times to get backstabbed to go off, that's why I do it. Game's clip detection is absolutely terrible. So
it's also pretty good for PvE actually.
It's very
when
good
you can be behind the boss, you you can now use it in front of the boss. So.
Yeah, the positional requirement has always
good.
bugged me for backstab, mainly because of the game. I don't mind the positional requirement. It's just the game doesn't seem to care sometimes where you're standing. But sneak has now been removed, so the level 32 passive has been reworked. It used to be entering stealth and leaving stealth refresh to cooldown of sneak, and that would allow you to increase your movement speed by 50% for 6 seconds out of stealth. That's now been changed to activating countermeasures, increases your movement speed by 50% for 6 seconds. That's just a straight nerf, I would say.
Yeah, that's not really nice.
For PvE,
It's
I don't think it makes a huge difference, because for PvE you're using countermeasures to threat drop, so that's not too bad. But for PvE you use countermeasures for other things a lot of the time, well, you should be. So yeah, that's a straight nerf. Also, you can't refresh it in and out of stealth. So
basically, we lose Ghost and just get a 50% movement speed to a root, a breaker.
If you take
because I'm not, I won't use countermeasures just for the speed boost.
Yeah, you're not going to use it. So you're not going to use Ghost anymore, basically. You're not going to have that 50% speed increase on demand. I guess we were just too mobile. I mean, operatives are very mobile, and having a speed increase for 6 seconds of 50% is pretty good.
Yeah, I was just about to say that's probably what they're trying to reduce.
Also, the other thing that people seem to forget about is because you can refresh it with stealth, effectively that means if you're out of combat, you have a constant 50% speed increase. So you can be very mobile when you're out of combat. Like if you're running from one side of the map to the other, you're basically doing it 50%. So
yeah.
All right, so the next one we have. Oh yeah, here we go. Here's my favorite. Strap in, boys. Strap in. This is the greatest talent that's ever existed in any game ever. This is Mobile Assailer. Have we finished Evening and joining now, or anymore? Okay.
Yeah, I get disconnected every time. It's really annoying. Sorry.
This utility is just too exciting. Your internet
Actual
can't handle
trait
it.
grants a charge of Mobile Assailer, reducing the energy cost of your next overload shot by 100%, allowing it to be used at 30 meters and making it knock the target back. Each use of overload shot consumes a charge of Mobile Assailer and grants 10 energy.
Yeah,
now,
that's crazy.
There's no
crazy.
There's no duration on Mobile Assailer, so I'm assuming you can just bank 2 and just have them there for whenever you want them.
Oh, you think it's
But you can only exfiltrate twice.
No,
you
but
can
it
only roll
yeah,
twice,
it
right?
says a charge. So yeah,
it grants a charge. So it doesn't say it's that
would
last
be
10
crazy.
seconds. So I'm assuming that I can roll twice to get somewhere, use this twice, and then roll twice again to get 2 more. It also grants you 10 energy. Now, Overload Shot is terrible, but not a great ability, but it gives you 10 energy, and it knocks the target back. Now, I'm not sure how long it knocks, how far back it knocks them. Quite frankly, I don't really care, to be honest.
From what I heard, it's more like not a really strong knockback in the physical sense, but it's still an interrupt or something, you know. Or
just knocks them back like a meat roasting, probably.
Not really that
ambush,
much of a.
You know,
an interrupt like that is still good.
For example.
Yeah, definitely. It's good.
And you get 2 charges, which is pretty good as well.
Yeah. Basically, this is the best thing I've ever seen. I absolutely love this. It's amazing. So I want to see how it plays out. Maybe I'm massively overrating it, but it sounds like some madman went on some kind of like acid bender and just thought, I know what sounds like a good idea. We'll make Overload Shot 30 meters, give it a knockback, and give him 10 energy. I don't know. Some guy there really loves Overload Shot.
You know, so
I think I just take it just to annoy people.
Yeah, I can see people taking that for like Nova Coast, and you just like come out of your spawn.
This is the greatest interrupt of all time. It's a 30 meter, give you 10 energy interrupt. It's absolutely fantastic. All right, next up we have Eye for an Eye, which, depending on how this works, could also be the greatest talent of all time. Evasion grants a charge of Eye for an Eye, reflecting 150% single target tech and force damage whilst evasion is active.
Ridiculous.
Now, it depends on how it works. It depends on how it works.
We talked about this before.
So if evasion grants a single charge, if it's 1 reflect, then it's okay. I mean, it's still strong, I think, but it's not insanity. If it's
it might not be worth taking.
If it's I agree with that.
I don't know. I mean, for example, if you're getting hammered by Merc and he uses Heatseeker, and we all know there's an ability delay on Heatseeker, so you do have time to activate that while you see the animation go off.
There is. But what if someone else hits you in the meantime with something else? You know, this is. I understand for like dueling and things, you can time things a lot more precisely. But
like I I would love to have it like reflect an energy burst from a PT, but it might as well reflect like the small
grenade.
dot.
Yeah.
The small dot they put on you.
Well,
So-
it's single target, so the dot wouldn't do it. I don't think. Well, is the dot?
Yeah, but they have
single
like a
target?
small grenade, you know, that doesn't really do that much damage. So maybe that one, but yeah.
Okay, but here's the other thing. Now, this charge might last for the full duration of evasion.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
In which case,
I did have concern for the Marauders actually against something like this, but now that it's instant, it'd be interesting to see how this plays out because now Ravage
what
has
about
no
the
cast.
Synth?
So,
dude, if this is actually 4
Nobody
seconds,
lost since Mac.
if this is 4 seconds of reflect on evasion, and you still take what's called evasive imperative, that basically means that you have a 4-second evasion on a 20-ish second cooldown, which means you have a 75%. A 25% uptime on reflect, basically. 20%, beg your pardon. Maths is hard.
Yeah.
So I've got to assume it's just one single thing.
This is just so powerful because so far,
it does seem a bit.
Tech and force attacks have been good against operatives because because evasion doesn't work against those types of damage until now. And I think operatives have a baseline increased chance to avoid dodge attacks or something.
And
now
be
they have a powerful tool against yellow damage as well, apart from roll, obviously.
As an operative, I would like that this would just be one charge.
Yeah,
I think it would be too overpowered.
If it's so think about it like logically, right? So evasive imperative is generally going to be on like a 20-ish second cooldown. So we'll just use 20 because math is difficult. If you assume that it's a 4-second reflect, you can do 4-second reflect, or you can do 4-second reflect, roll, that's another 4 seconds, that's 8 seconds of essentially immunity, and then you have that off cooldown again for another roll, so you have 10 seconds of immunity every 20-ish seconds. And I understand that the immunity means that you don't proc the basic imperative thing, so it's not going to be perfect, but you're looking at maybe 30 or 40% no damage taken all the time, which is way too much.
Yeah, that's too much.
Let's just pretend that this utility and mobile assailer are all in the last tier. You know, I mean that would.
Yeah, Matt brings up a good point. It depends what you have to sacrifice to take it.
Exactly.
Because if you're giving up like Root Breaker.
If this is a 4-second reflect, everyone is taking it forever on everything.
And probably Imperial. What's it called?
Imperative.
You know, imperative. The reduced cooldown on evasion. I mean, evasive. Yeah, exactly. But then you don't get mobile assailer, maybe. Or
I will sacrifice mobile assailer for a 4-second reflect. It's
definitely. Definitely.
I have to point out. I have to.
Charge.
Yeah, exactly what Christiana just said. It doesn't work against ambush. I guess the ambush you would just dodge because ambush is white damage, and while evasion is active, you dodge all white damage. So it only works against yellow damage. Direct yellow damage.
I have tier 2 down in some of my own personal notes. I've just looked it up on some of my data here.
It's got to be 1. I'm assuming.
Yeah, let's just. It's utility tier 2 here. Let's see what they do in any PTS patch notes. That'd be interesting.
Okay, and the next one is curative counteragent. Countermeasures grants curative counteragent, causing your next Colto probe to immediately grant two stacks. Additionally, countermeasures heals you for 1% of your maximum health every second for 5 seconds. So countermeasures is a 45-second cooldown. It gives you a 5% heal effectively over 5 seconds, and it also gives you 2 stacks rather than 1.
That's nice for healers.
Yeah, I'm not really convinced this is amazing, to be honest with you.
No.
Depends on what tier it would be in. If it's like
tier
in the second tier.
Tier 1 makes sense for this, yeah.
Tier 1. From my notes, it's tier 1 at the moment.
I guess for healers it would be kind of okay.
Yeah, healers would take it, I guess, because it saves you 1 GCD and it gives you a 5% heal, but I don't think this is like setting the world on fire. And I think healers did something a bit better than this, to be honest with you.
It's like a 45-second cooldown, so just 2 Colto probes on a 45-second cooldown is
like something. If it was something like countermeasures grants curative countermeasure, which consumes 2 stacks of Colto probes for an instant heal, something like that. Because really what they need is a burst heal, isn't it? They need a big heal. Something along those lines would probably be better for operatives at this point in time. Like converting dots to instants, but MMOs are hard. So merge utilities. Sorry.
One thing about what Chad just said about countermeasures being also the speed increase.
Yeah.
Isn't that the talent that's only for concealment?
It's just concealment. Yeah, that's just
yeah.
concealment.
So the movement increase is only for concealment. Good.
Okay, so merge utilities, you now have curbing strategies. They basically put two together. So overload shot and carbine burst reduce the movement speed of targets by 40% for 6 seconds. Additionally, flashbang reduces accuracy by 20%. For 8 seconds at the end of flashbang. So some people I've seen already taking flash powder. I strongly don't know why, but they still do. So this would make it more appealing, I guess. And the next one is precision instruments. Again, this is a squish. Reduces the energy cost of debilitating severed tendon by 5. Also, severed tendon immobilizes the target for 2 seconds. That's a merge there. I mean, I take this talent, but I wouldn't recommend you take the talent. So,
yeah, I don't know. I mean, both. I think both these merged thingies, like the overload shot, reduced movement speed, and the reduced energy cost of debilitating severed tendon, are both utilities that no one would have ever taken otherwise, I think.
Yeah.
And now that they're merged, maybe they might. So
yeah.
No, I've seen a lot of people taking the flashbang one.
Yeah, exactly. And now they're going to get that merge with a utility no one would have ever picked otherwise. So it's not really that much of a difference maker.
So far, I'm pretty happy with the merges that they've done. They kind of make sense.
So
BioWare's done a pretty good job merging some of the abilities.
Here's
or at least some of the
a great
utilities
merge, and everyone can thank Operative for this one. So the next one is cunning competencies. Countermeasures will purge all movement impairing effects while activated, which is pretty much required for PvE. Additionally, when the sleep dart wears off, your target is set by sedatives, reducing all damage dealt by 50% for the next 10 seconds. So pretty much every operative is now going to have
that merge
sedatives.
is great. That's great.
I really wish they hadn't merged those two together. Like those are the two most powerful ones from that tier, to be honest with you. And,
I mean, yeah. Now it's out of the question basically that you're going to take this. You would have taken you would have taken countermeasures anyway, and now it's buffed so hard. Like, yeah, no question you're going to take that.
Yeah. Okay. So here's another update for you. Hey guys, say hello to the ground. Jarring strike. When used from stealth, backstab and lethal strike knocks the target down. We got a knockback back, boys. A knockback, a knockdown back. Say hello to the ground. Oh wait, only PvE.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sucks.
Rip. Rip.
Wow, I really feel for you guys. Wow, we're getting the
if the target is a player that interrupted and immobilized for 3 seconds. So that
was really frustrating in Hutball though when that did happen. To be honest.
Well, the 3-second knockdown was OPOP. 1.5, I believe, was absolutely fine. And they shouldn't. In my opinion, Jarring Strike should still be baseline for concealment. Absolutely. But if you're playing around solo and you miss the knockdown, you can get it back. You just check a point into it. You got it back. You know. If you really care that much about it. I mean, I think it's decent for players who miss the ability. If you're doing heroic, like let me give you an example. If I'm doing heroic quests, I'm taking this talent every single time. I'll respec to get it because I love the knockdown, and it's great, just a visual to have. You know, it's kind of useless. I think anywhere else really. Maybe in PvE, trash and stuff, it's helpful. We'd have to see how they all lay out and what tier is in, but yeah, so it's okay. Next up, we have circumvention. So it reduces the cooldown of maybe traverse by 10 seconds. It also can be used while immobilized and purges movement impairing effects while used, and also grants you a TA. So you have a 10-second cooldown reduction, grants a TA, and purges effects.
Isn't that a merge as well? I think
no. The TA wasn't there before.
It's just
it wasn't there. I thought it was.
No, the TA is
just
there.
added.
Shows what I know.
It's pretty good. I mean, I guess for PvE this is useful. You know, you can grant yourself an extra TA. Because currently you're using things like crippling slice to fill in holes in your rotation, so this is
wasn't this one of the first things you said when you learned about Holo Traverse, that you wanted to grant a tactical advantage?
Well, it should have just be the ability. The ability should just be on a shorter cooldown, 15 seconds less, and it should grant a TA. So this is kind of correcting that through a talent, which I don't necessarily agree is correct. But there you go. I mean, it's in the game now. If you want to take it, you can take it. I think it's good for PvE. It depended on the layouts of different things. Now, if this is top tier, then maybe not. This is top tier at the moment. This one, but a TA every 50 seconds is bad. Okay.
Wait, there's a cooldown on Holo Traverse. 1 minute, isn't it? 45 seconds.
Sorry, it's 45, isn't it? It's 30 for sins, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, sorry, I thought it was 45 for sins. Yeah. So it's on 35 seconds, an extra TA grant. That's pretty useful.
Huh.
Next up, you have snipers. Oh man, do you have any snipers in the house? Get your Kleenex out. So the 4-second hard stun debilitate was removed from snipers. You no longer have the hard stun debilitate. You now have a new ability, which is a ranged hard stun. Droid meds have been removed, and again, the melee abilities have been removed. So your kick debilitate is gone. Yeah, it's now replaced with maim and below the belt. I hope below the belt like throws a shoe at their crotch, and that stuns them. I think that's the graphic you want to have for that one. But it's essentially the same thing. It's a 45-second hard stun. It's a 10-meter range, 10 energy, and it's the same second. So you basically have a ranged hard stun now.
Yeah, it's basically the same now as it was for Powertech's, Mercs, Sorcerers, and every other range class, basically.
It should have been done a long time ago, and it's
it's not a 30-meter range, but it's 10-meter just for like every other range class. So
they've lost Shiv, they've lost Overload Shot, and they've lost Slice Droid. So are they using Shiv a lot? I mean, snipers.
I think there's a utility that makes Shiv increase your movement speed.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But I don't know how many.
No, that's been changed. Sometimes, I think.
Okay.
So discipline changes. Oh man, these are pretty tasty. These are pretty tasty.
Yeah, this is good.
So the marksmanship passive 68, dealing damage in an ambush to a target with less than 30% health grants finish the job, increasing the damage of your next takedown by 20%. Yeah.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
I'm allergic to bullshit.
That's a straight 20% damage increase on takedown if you use it at the right time. So
yeah,
that's pretty good in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because it's not like takedown doesn't hit hard. It hits
or
pretty
ambush
hard.
for that matter.
Yeah.
And for the PvE guys, I think it's good as well because marksman is one of the lowest DPSing specs at the moment.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You've also got Rack in Erosion for Virulence. Weakening Blast applies Rack in Erosion to the target, which deals X internal damage. The next time your target takes damage from your Corrosive Grenade. So it's a passive. If you use Corrosive Grenade after Weakening Blast, which I believe is that rotation?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. It does extra damage. So it
Yeah,
depends on
that's
what the damage
basically
is, but yeah, it's not
Yeah,
too
no
bad.
change, just extra damage.
Cheap Shots has been renamed to Nice Try. For Engineering, you have Conductive Conduit. When EMP discharge damages a target, Conductive Conduit deals X additional energy damage per stack of electrified railgun on the target. Additionally, EMP discharge harms up to 7 other additional enemy targets within 5 meters. The primary target is affected by your electrified railgun. So basically, if you have electrified railgun on the target, it hits 7 other enemies within 5 meters. Pretty good?
I think EMP discharge isn't that much of a damaging ability, right? It's more.
I think you can hit for up to 11k. I'm not too sure.
Really?
It can hit for a bit, but I mean it's AoE damage, so it'll be quite nice in PvP, I think.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Do people use Engineer in PvE? Because I mean that's
yeah, it's one of the high
AoE
passing.
damage.
In PV, I think it's one of the highest passing specs.
Same as Deathfield Mechanic. Yeah, that's very similar.
Yeah.
But it isn't. There's no 50% chance, but it's just a flat increase, which is pretty good. Some things have been renamed. So Sabotage Charge is now called Explosive Charge. Contingency Charge is now referring to Explosive Charge, and so all the different changes are there. So they've renamed Sabotage Charge to Explosive Charge, which is kind of sad, really, because Sabotage Charge is really fun to say. Say it, Mark.
Oh, I will
fine.
make a fool out of myself.
Go on, Mac.
Peer pressure, sabotage, charge.
Yeah,
Oh Jesus!
So we've got new utilities here.
My tongue.
These are pretty impressive, I think. Again, you know, I don't play Sniper, but I think these look really, really strong. Executioner, passive, flashbang and maim. So maim is the new hard stun. And Executioner, allowing your next takedown within 6 seconds to be used regardless of the target's remaining health and dealing 15% additional damage. I think that's pretty nice.
I think that has potential for some sick.
So if you use flashbang and then you use ambush and then you use takedown, you get like
35% extra damage.
35% more damage.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
If the target is at low health, that is right. Because
no.
No, it works regardless.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
like,
the baseline one, finish the job. Ambush under 30% grants finish the job, increasing.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
So if that procs, then you get 20 plus 15.
Yeah.
I mean, as it was, I think snipers, were the ones snagging all the killing blows, and it looks like that trend continues. in the next expansion.
So if
I
you're
like that
dueling a
talent.
sniper, and you're around 30% health, and he flashbangs you, you're pretty much dead.
Here's an easy way to think it, right? If you're doing a sniper, you have 70% health. That's the easiest way to describe that one, yeah.
Once you reach that
take
threshold,
30
you're
off,
done.
you're done, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so the other new one is Fortuitous Bedlam. I like this talent as well, by the way. Diversion grants 1 stack of Fortuitous Bedlam for every 2 targets initially affected. Increase the armor penetration by 15% per stack, lasting for 8 seconds. So if you do Diversion on, let's say, 4 targets, you get 30% armor pen for 8 seconds. Pretty nice.
That's pretty good.
Oh, every 2
I really like abilities
okay.
like this, the ones that...
But lasting for 8 seconds long as
Yeah.
well. I mean,
Like now it's both the defensive and
yeah,
offensive
that's quite a bit.
cooldown.
Mm.
Wow, that's pretty neat. Whew.
Next up, you have Reinforcing Retreat. Covered
Oh,
Escape
utilities,
heals you
yeah.
for 10% of your maximum health. Additionally, Evasion now lasts 5 seconds. So extra second on Evasion and a
Yeah,
10%
that's
heal
good.
on Covered Escape. Which one's Covered Escape?
That's a roll, isn't
Roll, okay.
Yeah,
Well, that's pretty good then.
it? Yeah.
I would
What's
say
the
that's-
cooldown? 20 seconds?
Really good, isn't
For-
it?
I mean, basically, well, they can reset it with their
Yeah.
3-minute cooldown. But I mean, that would be 20% maximum health. I don't know
I'm
how super useful that is.
I'm
but-
thinking that snipers might be the 1v1. To be honest with you.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Especially
Tier
with, this,
1
with a heal
utility
now
as
as
well.
well. That tier 1, shit the bed, no way.
Yeah, apparently the Fortuitous Bedlam.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, from my
Wow.
notes, I mean, it's PTS, so these things are going to be moving around. But that's
Reinforcing
just my
retreat.
notes at the moment.
Wow, okay.
Well, so far
Um,
all these utilities
that's
look pretty
crazy.
good, but
They
the thing
look
is, when I was picking utilities for my
Tier
sniper,
2. Reinforcing Retreat is tier 2 in my notes.
Okay, thank you.
okay.
Sorry, Mark, when you were...
When I was picking utilities, I felt like all of them are not
strong.
necessary. Yeah, they're all good, or most of them.
Mhm.
Now we're gonna see which ones they merge together and everything. But I mean, the new utilities look pretty good.
Yeah,
They
they
do.
they merged some good ones together.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
I
and
think
when they
snipers
merge the
looking
good
really
ones
good.
as well, yeah,
Yeah, so
So the other new
snipers
one-
are gonna be very good.
The other new one is counter-offensive safeguards. When Ballistic Shield is activated, you get a charge of counter-offensive safeguards for up to 4 enemies inside your Ballistic Shield. Each charge increases your damage reduction by 5%, while inside your Ballistic Shield you heal for 3% of your maximum health every second, and you are immune to being pulled or knocked around.
what?
So
Yeah,
effectively, you
That's
can get
cool
a
as hell.
20%. I really like the way the kind of attitude of these, because they're all about, if you time this correctly, you get a 20% increase. If you cock it up, you get nothing. You know what I mean? If you get one person in there, you get 5%. But there's a lot of variance in that.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in this utility, and
I like
think
it. I like
I
it a
like
lot.
it. Yeah.
Um,
It encourages your team to actually stand inside there, because right now, yeah, okay, it's damage
It is,
reduction,
yeah.
that's nice, but yeah,
but
this
if you
is
can get
pretty cool.
the enemy team in like arena or something, then you get 20% DR for the
Yeah.
duration
Yeah.
and a 3% heal.
that's really good.
Now,
That's
just
So
really
with
good.
some coordination, you can.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
This is really
to be
good.
honest, even if it's 5 or 10, that's still not
Snipers.
terrible, you know.
Gonna be really good.
you can't
Yeah.
even pull anyone out. They just stand inside and
Yeah.
oh wow.
No. It's just you.
It's just you.
Yeah. No, well, you're being covered anyway, so you can't get pulled. But hey,
Yeah, there's another
Right.
talent later on where the 1% heal is now 2%. So basically, you can get like a 5% heal with this one every second.
The other one is only every 3 seconds, I thought.
Was it every 3
That's
seconds?
marked down here as a
I'm
tier
terribly
2
sorry.
utility.
That's a really nice one. I think I like that. I like the concept of that utility. I like the ones
Yeah.
that require you to time things correctly. It's nice. All right, so updated ones. Stroke of Genius. This has now been merged with Pulse Screen. Activating Cover Pulse makes the next snipe or lethal shot activate instantly and increases your chance to resist force and attacks by 20% for 6 seconds. So it's a straight buff again, that merge.
Yep.
that's tier 1, right?
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I think both of these
Yeah, it's
utilities.
Lumbering
Or-
Impact.
yeah.
So this is the one that's merged with Flash Powder. Shatter Shot reduces the movement speed of the target by 50% for 10 seconds. In addition, Flashbang reduces accuracy by 20% for 8 seconds after it ends. So you've got the movement speed decrease, and you've also got the accuracy reduction. Very good.
Shatter Shot is the one that reduces healing the target receives, right?
Yeah, by 20%.
Okay. Well, and now it's a 10-second movement reduction. Okay. cool.
So this one has been changed here. Re-established range used to be Shiv, now it's on countermeasures. Countermeasures purges all movement impairing effects when activated and grants re-established range, increasing your movement speed by, used to be 50, now it's 75%. Used to be
That's
3
great.
seconds, now it's 6 seconds.
And
Additionally, the final shot of series of shots and penetrating blasts knocks back the target if they are within 10 meters. So yeah, basically countermeasures gives you a 75% speed increase for 6 seconds. Zoom, zoom, zoom.
Wow.
that's really great. That's like the same speed buff for BTs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a
also
pretty.
the same speed.
I think that's a pretty significant buff. That one. I think.
Yeah, that's really good. As well as the addition of the knockback.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
was
I think that
already
was
there.
an interesting utility as it was, and now it's merged
Yeah.
with something really good. So
Yeah, so that's
No,
two good utilities in one.
You can definitely kite for days. 75% speed for 6 seconds is huge. Really, really big. Okay, so the next one is these are updated charges. These are calculated pursuit. You gain 4
really
charges
interesting.
of calculated pursuit upon exiting cover, which allows snipe to be activated whilst moving. Snipe consumes 1 charge, and consumption of the first charge triggers a 20-second rate limit on the skill. The effect lasts up to 15 seconds, but re-entering cover removes the effect prematurely. That's quite a wordy definition there. I don't know if someone is more familiar with it. I'm not sure. So it's
yeah,
basically...
keep in mind I'm red-green colorblind, so this was all very confusing to read.
So basically snipe instead of overload
What
shot.
the- Yeah. Oh my god, they're gonna be kiting monsters.
Yeah.
I mean, they already are, but oh god.
Overprepared,
Yeah,
passive.
snipers are going to be the new Mercs.
Well, I mean, I've seen a lot of people in chat today saying that Mercs are going to be the new Mercs, and
Oh, we haven't looked at Mercs yet.
no, Mercs
No.
are looking really tasty.
Oh.
Yeah, some
We're,
really
we're
good changes
keeping
for
we're
Merc.
keeping the best for last.
Seriously, that's not even an understatement.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
overprepared
God.
reduces the cooldown of Imperial preparation by 45 seconds, increases your damage reduction by 15% for 15 seconds after activating. So basically, prep is now 45% reduction, and it's a 15% damage increase for 15 seconds. So it's a flat-out buff. Used to be 30 seconds, now it's 45.
Yeah, I would already.
Used to be 10, now it's 15. Used to be 10 seconds, now it's 15.
I thought I already took that one as it was, but I'll
Really?
definitely take it in now. Yeah,
Wait,
I think
isn't Imperial preparation like baseline a 3-minute cooldown?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
3 minutes.
And it
Is it?
resets all your cooldowns, right? Or
Mhm.
most of them.
Not all of
Yeah,
them, but
I
yeah,
don't know.
most.
I mean,
That's
50.
great.
Now it's 2 minutes 25. 2 minutes 15,
Yeah.
sorry.
Well, I guess you use that ability as some kind of panic button, and having damage reduction along with it is nice. So
Yeah, so Imperial
Mhm.
Preparation currently resets evasion, countermeasures, shield probe, and cover pulse, as well as entrench.
yeah.
It's a good move. Basically, yeah, it's a good button to have.
Time that well, yeah, you're
having
sorted.
a
there.
third basically off it is a huge buff. Also, the damage reduction is nice too. Vital regulators.
We're gonna see a lot more snipers.
Yeah, yeah, snipers and mercs.
Yeah.
Vital regulators, while in cover, you now heal for 2% of your total health every 3 seconds rather than 1%. So, yeah, still pretty good. It's a double. It literally doubles it. I know it's only 1 to 2, but it's still pretty good. If people were taking that anyway, now.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Why not? With the ballistic shield thing that heals you as well.
Yeah,
why not just sit inside your ballistic shield with
that's 3% a second and 2%
cover.
every 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Pretty strong. Another one then, so debilitate, the reduction was on that, now it's maim, so it's literally just changed things over. So next up is PT and Vanguards. Guys, I hate to be a party pooper here, but I need to go for a party peeper. You can just excuse me for 30 seconds, I'll be very, very grateful. I shouldn't drink beer while I'm doing this. Be right back.
Mm-hmm. So, your sins in chat. What class are you gonna reroll? So far, it's either gonna be Sniper or Merc for me, I think.
Merc is really fun to play, sure.
I know. I mean, it's like that right now, and if they're, buffing them, then why
Yeah,
not?
if I was going to re-roll to something else, I would have to go Merc just because,
Yeah, Mercs are getting
especially
some
with the
good
new
buffs.
changes coming up, they're really
Yeah,
good.
definitely.
So
I'm really, really happy.
Well, at least some of us are. But okay.
I feel really bad for assassins though. They
You know,
got, like, nerfed with
I can't even sum up
everything.
what happens to us. You know, all I see is that they're nerfing out damage. I mean, like not like our maul or assassinate damage, but nerfing damage of base abilities and taking phase away from us and giving us a new ability that we don't know what it does yet.
Are you crying about sins?
No.
Sorry guys, I went so fast and I didn't even flush or wash my hands. Right, so I did. I'm not a savage.
You do have a strong bladder, Snave.
Mate, this is a keyboard, not a Wii board. Alright, Powertechs and Vanguards. The AoE abilities have been reworked. I'm already getting a bit sweaty just reading that line here. Reworked how, by the way? Tank and stance has been removed, so yeah, now you can do that from all of them. One of the defensive cooldowns has been slightly nerfed. Leap into a target now deals 33% less damage to ensure it is not overpowered in combination with the new battery ammo utility. Oh god, okay, what is this? I haven't read the PT changes, by the way, so... Yeah, Cylinder is now passive. Okay, so it's basically the same as the other ones with stances. The cells are passive, guard is baseline, and prepare your anuses. Flamethrower has been removed. Oh wow, okay.
What?
Oh, right,
sorry. It's been replaced. Okay, it's been replaced with Searing Wave.
Yeah.
18-second cooldown, torches everything within a 10-meter cone with a flamethrower, dealing X damage to 8 targets. Isn't that the same thing? It doesn't generate heat.
It doesn't generate heat, which is
interesting. It does.
Oh, sorry,
say so.
20 heat there.
Oh, 20. I beg your pardon.
So it's a slight. I mean, it was 26 before, so now it's 20. So it's slightly reduced.
It's probably a cooler animation, is what they've done to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the changes are logical.
They've used their flame budget, make things pretty. Yeah. Death from above has been removed with. Oh, really?
I thought this is one of the coolest animations.
It's going to be a similar.
I really like this animation.
It's got to be a different animation, I guess. Ordnance onslaught, range.
It might be. It may even be like that ability from HK55. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Maybe.
Yeah, be right back. Rerolling Powertech then. I love me some HK.
All right. Who doesn't love HK? This is a pro HK stream, guys. I will have no shit talk about HK or Zoom. No, fuck Zoom. I hate that character. Alright, Ordnance Onslaught unloads all of the ordnance in rapid succession, casting jets of fire, rail shots, and other munitions. I can just visualize how this is going to look already. It's going to be like flamethrowers and pew pew going off everywhere. Dealing X kinetic damage and X elemental damage over the duration up to 8 enemies within 5 meters over the duration. Standard and weak targets and knocked down by the blast generates 30 heat over the duration, channeled over 3 seconds, and usable whilst mobile. So it's channeled, but but mobile.
That's a buff, though.
That is
being mobile while using it.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same cooldown time as well, though, isn't it? 45 seconds, same range.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Missile blast has been removed. Explosive dart has been removed. So explosive dart was the weaker of the two.
Yeah.
Okay, that's gone. Replaced with shatter slug. Fires a high impact slug from your wrist launcher, instantly exploding on contact. Oh, okay. And dealing 8x damage to up to 8 enemies in an 8 meter area. So basically, explosive dart is now instant.
Yeah.
Okay. I kind of like that, to be honest with you. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
No, it was fun for your burst, basically. You know, lining up 2 grenades
That's
and then
true. Yeah.
that delayed damage
Yeah.
would be pretty brutal. But I mean, I think the damage itself from explosive attack wasn't that high to begin with.
Well,
with that.
What I was doing, I think, is taking an angle is removing all the channels, so all the damage is instant, so people can't like avoid it. Because I've done it to Ravage and now explosive dart.
No more rolling grenades, boys.
Because I like timing mitigation with my mad dash, so we'll see.
Yeah, well, I think you will still have.
Just press the buttons all the time, Delegate, and then
thermal detonator, right?
Just spam them all over the place.
Just spam the buttons.
Maybe you still have thermal detonator, which is the grenade you should avoid anyway. So.
Yeah, that's still there. But the trick is to roll an operative, and then when you roll, the odds are you dodge a bunch of shit anyway, and then you can just pretend that you're on purpose. That's what I normally do. So yeah, guard is now baseline. Colto Overload has been changed slightly. So Colto Overload was 40% when it procs, now it's 35. So that's
back to normal.
I don't. Yeah, is there a change on that?
Yeah.
Once triggered, will heal you back up to 35, but not exceed 35. So that's a straight nerf then. It's a 5% nerf on that.
Yeah.
Jet Charge was nerfed by 33% damage. stances are now default, so I'll just skip over those. And yeah, prototype cylinders just does the same thing. Discipline changes, so Pyrotech, everyone's favorite spec. I'm always blown away by the amount of Pyrotechs I see. Searing Wave causes the next immolate to deal 20% more damage. Okay? An increase in damage.
That's
Nice.
good.
And the rest is just rewording and cosmetic changes, because now with the cylinders and everything else. Searing Wave, Searing Wave, Searing Wave.
Okay, it bothers me. It bothers me that the passive is called Superheated Flamethrower, even though you don't have Flamethrower anymore. That bugs
I
me.
thought that was being changed. Oh no.
Yeah, they
This
removed
is
Flamethrower and
superheated.
renamed it, and
Yeah,
now
yeah.
they call it Superheated Flamethrower.
They removed the little space.
Immersion ruined.
Uninstall, boys. We're done. Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, whatever. This, well,
Too bad.
since now it's done.
The rest of this stuff is literally just swapping around explosive drop with Shatter Slug, changing the different names of the abilities. So effectively, Death from Above is Ordnance. Onslaught, Shatter Slug is Explosive Dart. There's not a huge change here.
Yeah.
Skip through the rest of these then. Flame Engine now does 100%. Okay, so Flame Engine previously was when Iron Glass is active, direct damage, blah, 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 Searing Wave causes next Searing Wave, generate no heat, and deal 100% more damage. It was previously twice as fast, now it's 100% more damage. So rather than having the quicker duration, it's double the damage.
Firestorm's always is an instant now as well, by the way.
I didn't see Firestorm. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, Firestorm.
It's right above it.
Oh, I beg your pardon. Yes, Firestorm is instant. Okay. Wow.
That's crazy.
And generates 20 heat rather than 28. So yeah, they're going to have a lot more energy available. Cool. Oil Slick is now a 10-second cooldown, not 15. Enemies that enter and remain within the Oil Slick become unbalanced, slowed by 70%, and suffering a 15% melee and ranged actual off. So it's now 10 seconds rather than 15, so that's a nerf, and it's now 15% rather than 30, so that's also a nerf. It's quite a big nerf,
like
actually.
Yeah.
But that was pretty OP, to be honest. Like,
It's like
every time
half.
I was in that as a Marauder, I guaranteed
where's the
you just
carb
always
nerf?
miss.
So let's see. The rest is just phrasing. So new utilities. You have Reel and Rattle. Grapple deals X attack damage to pull targets and grants Silence is Golden, causing the next Rocket Punch or Flaming Fist against the pull target to deal 20% additional damage and stun the target for 1.5 seconds. The fact lasts for 6 seconds.
Well,
So,
that's
yeah.
perfect for Firebolt.
Yeah, that's
Rip
You don't have to use
Hutball.
one of your hard stuns now. Yeah.
Rip Hutball, yeah. Pull Hadouken. Rest in Pepperinos.
And usually, I think those 1.5 seconds will be enough. And yeah.
What tier do you
Yeah.
guys think that could be in?
Probably one, no empower attacks. Then you've got Mutilating Shards. Sorry, I thought I said Mutilating Sharks then. I thought that was going to be a really cool ability.
You fire sharks out of you.
Yeah, to shoot a shark cannon. Uh,
that would be great though.
Bran makes up a good point here. That's the third hard stun for PTs. So they now have Carb, that, and Deep Dart, whatever it's called, Electro Dart. So Mutilating Shards. Shatter Slug reduces the movement speed of all affected targets by 75% for 15 seconds. This can only occur once every 30 seconds. Okay, that's pretty good. Pretty
Yeah, that's
good
good.
actually. 75% speed increase for 15 seconds. Okay,
Yeah.
override
A lot.
override pressure limiters. Explosive fuel grants override pressure limiters, allowing Flame Burst, Magnetic Blast, Searing Wave, Firestorm, Shatter Slug, Ordnance, Onslaught, Heat Blast, Energy Burst, Immolate, and Scorch to be used at 30 meters for 15 seconds. So it increases your range.
I think it depends.
once-
I think it depends on which tier it is in, because
That's
if it's
tier
in the
4.
last tier,
Well, the nerf
Yes.
they just put in essentially just put this down to 15 meters. Oh, sorry, 10 meters, didn't it? From 30. So I don't think they're going to put that back in. Isn't that right? Didn't they just recently nerf that down to 10 meters?
No, they
Oh, that was
nerfed
rail
rail
shot.
shot.
Rail
Rail
shot.
shot.
Sorry, yeah. Beg your pardon.
So this is basically your offensive cooldown, I think.
Yeah.
That gives you more crit chance
More
or
crit
something.
chance. Is it a minute cooldown? I think.
yeah.
Yeah, I think 2 minutes.
No, I think
something.
isn't it 1 minute?
No,
Or 1 minute.
It's around a minute, not 2 minutes.
I'm not sure if I would take this, to be honest. If it's in the last tier,
I don't think it should be in the last.
I'm only gonna use explosive fuel when I'm pretty sure I can use my whole burst rotation.
Yeah.
So the 30 meters range doesn't really make sense.
I don't know, man. I think it's kind of handy if you're getting sniped by snipers and merked by merkers.
That's true.
Then again,
the
you have
override
hydraulics, so you
pressure,
probably will get up close anyway.
I've got
Yeah,
down
well,
as
that's
tier
true.
4 at the moment.
Tier 4, is it? Okay.
But again, things are probably going to be moving around a lot.
2-minute cooldown, I beg your pardon. Okay, thank you. Updated, so this is a squish. Suppressive tools, magnetic blast, flame burst, and flame sweep reduce the movement speed of affected targets by 30% for 3 seconds. Additionally, neural darts slow the target by 50% for 6 seconds.
That's pretty neat.
Which one's
Yeah,
neural dart? Is
okay.
that the
Neural dart is taunt.
Taunt.
It's single target taunt, yeah.
50% slow for 6 seconds on taunt. That's not bad, actually.
Also
To be
global
fair.
cooldown as well, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Updated, so this is another squish. Efficient suit. It was automated, now it's efficient. Allows cult to overload to be activated while stunned. Causes cult to overload to purge stun effects while activated. Oh shit, they got another breaker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
that was
that's sort
already
of-
in the game.
Is in par with the Juggernaut then.
Yeah.
In range
Except for I can
defense.
use this at any health.
Anytime, yeah.
Yeah.
This will not work against other types of incapacitating effects or scripted stuns, which are often used by Flashpoint and Operation bosses and other... Wow, this is a very specific thing, isn't it? So it works in PvP, basically. This is, I guess, PvP talent. In addition, increases the range of grapple and shoulder cannon by 10 meters and eliminates the heat generated by Electro Dart and Carbonize. But...
I don't think I ever took the 10-meter range before. Even though
No.
it's kind of handy. I think that gives you 40-meter range on those abilities. On grapple, I mean, not on shoulder cannon. But I mean,
I
in
think
addition
it's
with
40-meter
the
shoulder
extra,
cannon.
with the with the extra breaker, this is pretty neat.
Yeah, I think this can be worth it.
But for PvP, I think it's really good. I mean, the amount of caveats it's got about PvE things, I'm guessing, is not intended for PvE. But, yeah. No heat on Electro Dart and Carbonize is nice.
For PvP, it'd be quite nice. It'd be harder to sap cap a PT now.
We can't sap cap a PT anyway.
Yeah, no, you can't, but you could stand further away or in a certain position.
Like even without
Bad
shoulder
PTs,
cannon, now it's
yeah. If you're a terrible PT, now it's harder to cap you. Basically, well, GG.
I've seen
Awesome.
it happen.
Great.
Updated, so No Escape is now Adaptable Assailant, passive. Grapple immobilizes the target for 3 seconds. In addition, the cooldown of Stealth Scan is reduced by 5 seconds, and any targets revealed... immobilized, sorry, for 3 seconds. Also, increases the movement speed of all allies within the scan area, excluding yourself, by 50% as long as they remain within it, and for 6 seconds after it expires, they leave. So friendly mobs in your stealth scan, it's kind of like the old Jugg one, are increased by 50% for 6 seconds.
I think it's worthless.
I wouldn't take any of these.
Yeah, I wouldn't
And
take.
I still
the
won't
ability,
take it.
Exactly. Even merged, I don't think they're worth it.
Immobilize on grapple isn't bad, is it?
Yeah, but it's not as good compared to the
The
other
hard
things you can
stun.
take.
Yeah, it interferes with the hard stand sort of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright guys, we're on to utilities now, so strap yourself in.
Mm.
Let me get some KY ready. I want to know how I'm going to be fisted for the next 2 years. Battering ram. Using jet charge between 10 and 30 meters. Okay, grants battering ram.
Where else would you use them?
I don't know. Resetting the cooldown of jet charge. What? And increasing movement speed by 30% for 6 seconds. While battering ram is active, jet charge may be used within 10 meters of the target and deals 50% additional damage, but does not cause an additional interrupt or immobilize. This cannot occur more than once every 15 seconds. So double charge, basically.
Yeah,
Double
but you'll have to
charge.
keep
Okay.
in mind. You'll have to keep in mind that jet charge was nerfed with 33%.
Well, it's not the damage that I'm concerned about.
No.
It's the fact that you can charge
yeah.
and then charge with a with a 30% movement speed, then hydraulics.
Oh, and hydraulics, yeah.
Does that
Are they
stack?
trying to?
That must stack with
Yes.
hydraulics.
Are they trying to sort of bring that up with the new Marauder change as well? With the,
Yeah,
with the
it looks,
double
it looks,
Yeah,
it
I
looks
think-
I
very,
don't-
very similar.
What you just said about stacking, I don't think movement speed stacks in this game. It's always just the highest percentage you have available.
Mm.
So if you have,
Yeah,
I don't know, 2
yeah.
predations active, it's not going to be
Yeah,
2
yeah.
predations stacking. Like,
That would be
Yeah.
crazy. That'd be like a 100% speed increase
Or,
for 10
for
seconds.
example, yeah, if you
What
have
kind of
hydraulics,
madman
yeah,
would put a 100%
if you have-
speed increase for 10 seconds? That's insane.
yeah, if you have hydraulics and
That
predation,
would be crazy.
it's just gonna increase your movement
I
speed to
think
whatever
this
is
is a
the
nice-
highest percentage.
I think this is a nice talent. It's a more like kind of utility rather
Especially
than
for Hardball.
Oh, yeah.
I
For
reckon what
Hardball,
happened
it would
was,
be
right, that
amazing.
they timed how quickly an operative can score if no one hits him. And then they thought, all right, this got to be baseline for everyone. I guess that's what happened.
They're probably gonna add desync to that as well or something, you know, just to counter the,
As long as you get
advantage
like,
that rolls have.
as long as you get battering stuck, that's fine.
Battering stuff.
A 1% chance when using battering to get stuck then kicked from the game. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, but they're also gonna give PT the ability to summon a Sorc that will pull them out of it or something.
Oh god, that would be the greatest talent ever. Summon the Sorc. Gyroscopic alignment jets. You vent 20 heat up from 10 when stunned, immobilized, or knocked down. Additionally, when incapacitated, your next tech ability deals 10% more damage or healing. It's not bad. It's a straight.
Okay.
That's great.
That's a weird
great.
mechanic.
Yeah.
It's great.
Updated. Reflective armor is now damage is nerfed by 50%.
Yeah, no one took that already. I don't know why they nerfed this.
It didn't do that much damage anyway.
No, I didn't.
No one took this effort.
I get a little bit kind of twitchy when I see damage nerfs because I wonder how much damage the new abilities do. It's like if they reduce the baseline damages, like, oh, okay. Accelerated Reel reduces the cooldown of grapple by 10 seconds. That's down from 15 originally. Oh, wow, fantastic. Enhanced Paralytics increases the stun durations of Electric Dart and Carbonize by 0.5 seconds rather than 1. I know it's only 0.5 seconds, but I think that's a very important change, personally.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's going to change for team ranked a lot as well. Like, if you double Carbonize, it will make a big difference.
Also, I think, as it was, didn't Electro Dart fill the resolve if it's 5 seconds? Okay, so that's not going to be the case anymore.
It didn't fill it on its own?
No, it did, because it was a 5 second hard stun this way.
Oh, right, with the... Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I think the main thing is on Carb, though, because when that's a 2 second stun, that's effectively 2 GCDs, as opposed to this one. Yeah. Prototype Electro Surge, so that reduces the cooldown of Electro Dart by 15 seconds, up from 10. So, yeah, you still have your hard stun on a shorter cooldown, but just not on an increased cooldown. Pretty cool. Oh, Hunter, as you were saying, Reflective Armor was OP in PvE. Okay, necessary nerf.
Yeah, guys, you have to keep in mind.
If anyone has any PvE things that are relative, please let us know.
I know we make it look easy on Friday PvE night, but actually we're just getting carried by our Sorc healers. So yeah,
it's crazy.
Currently, we're going to rename our guild to Death and Zors just because we're just as good as the two of them combined.
Yeah, and 1v1ing bosses is totally different than to have 7 people with you. So yeah.
All right, so let's go on to what I would call the star of the show here. We have the belle of the ball, Mercs.
Hell yeah.
2 melee abilities have been removed because Merc is a range class. Defensive cooldowns have been slightly nerfed. Cylinders are now passive. Fantastic. Rocket Punch is now gone. No more Hadouken. Flamethrower is now gone. No more setting fire to things. Updated Call to Overload, it's the same as before. Was 40%, now is 35%. No changes compared to what the Powertech had there.
Yep.
Combustible gas cylinder is now passive. Yeah, fantastic. Let me just skip all these things. Cosmetic changes is just down to do with the cell changes.
The utilities are the utility changes are the best.
All right. Let's prep ourselves a little bit here. Discipline changes. IO and Assault Specialist receive a new passive of 68, exactly the same as it was. So the new one for IO is Anticipatory Condition. Mag Shot and Power Shot causes targets with a primed thermal detonator to combust early, dealing an additional X damage as burn over 6 seconds. I guess that's elemental damage then. So if they have a thermal detonator on, they use Mag Shot or Power Shot, it just goes off early and does an additional burn. Make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense for burst, I think.
Yeah.
Especially in PvP.
Does IO thermal detonator work different than the PT one, right? It applied a dot as well. I think it did less damage. Or am I?
Really? I'm not 100% sure. I'm sorry. I thought Yashia was our respective Merc.
Anyway, maybe I'm just confusing things here. But
the rest is just to do with changes with wording. Bodyguard, this cosmetic. Okay, so we can skip these. Warden is updated. Another cosmetic? No, this isn't. The Rapid Scan generates an extra stack of supercharge while activated and also increases the critical damage. Healing bonus, of heals by 50%. That's now level 36 rather than 56. Power and Slate, this is now 24 rather than 20. There's a lot of level changes here, guys. I would strongly suggest if you want to see the level changes, because I probably missed a bunch of them, just scroll through. You can see it on this website. I'd also like to say that this is by far the best layout I've ever seen in any game when it comes to the actual changes. Absolutely fantastic. I'm willing to bet money this is better than the official one that they released. Like, straight up,
Yeah,
I went a bit of hard
definitely.
cash on it. All right, so utility changes. All right,
Let's do this.
Let me just stretch a little bit. I need to prepare myself. All right.
Yes, do you need a moment, maybe?
Yeah, please, a second.
Oh my god, it's just
Oh yes.
on a rating. So before we start,
My asshole is clenching already, you know.
Yash, before we start on these, on a rating of 1 to oh my god, it's just how would you rate these changes?
I'm sorry, I lost you.
On a rating of 1 to oh my god, it's just how would you rate these changes?
I would rate them pretty fucking good.
Okay. So the new changes are Kolto Surge. Passive, Kolto Overload heals you twice as fast and heals you up to 70% of your maximum health. That's up from 35. Additionally, the duration of Kolto Overload is increased by 2 seconds. That's pretty solid.
Yeah. So it's finally relevant. It's finally useful.
That's super relevant and super useful.
Yeah.
That's really
great.
strong.
I'm happy for you guys.
I'm going to complain about this ability in advance. Whoever invented tag and bag can go fuck themselves. Sorry for potty mouth. Hindering a target with Electronet grants tag and bag, increasing your alacrity by 15% for 9 seconds. Additionally, converting 10 stacks of supercharge reduces the cooldown of Kolto Overload by 5 seconds.
Rest in peace, everything.
I mean, that's cool, but yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
This talent is insane.
15%.
So you Electronet a target, which obviously puts them in a bad situation. They get 15% alacrity, and also they get a faster heal after using 10 stacks of supercharge. So yeah,
I mean, this basically gives them more time to spam abilities on the hindered target. You know, so
that's got to be
an additional
tier 4, I would imagine. I mean, an insane talent.
Yeah, I think it's tier 4. It will be. I think.
Tag and bag. Let's have a look.
It's pretty strong.
Kolto Surge was gonna be tier 3, I think.
Okay, Zama, I think Merc will be so OP, he might actually stay alive more than 5 minutes in PvP now. Next up, you got trauma regulators. While energy shield is active, you generate a stack of trauma regulators. Oh my god, this one is ridiculous.
Yeah, this shit is best.
Okay, so when energy shield is active, you generate a stack of trauma regulators. Each time you receive direct damage, stacks up to 15 times. When energy shield expires, each stack of trauma regulators instantly heals you for 5% of your maximum health. So this is effectively
enraged
defense for.
This is either you attack the Merc and let them heal to full after it, or you just leave them alone and let them free cast.
Someone asked me a question about this. Whether can you kill them before energy shield runs out?
In theory, but it's very hard to do. If you ask me.
Especially
if you look at the later
utility.
Overload.
With the new Kolto Overload, I don't think so. I don't think you can.
Well, it's damn timing. If you pop it at like 10k, you're not really gonna get any benefit out of it.
It was more to do with the timing of it.
Use it earlier.
You need to use this earlier sooner rather than later. Otherwise, you'll just get killed through the shield. Which I think is a good mechanic, to be honest with you. I think it's quite nice.
Yeah, it's pretty good. There's a lot of utilities that increase the energy shield as it is and make it very
energy
powerful.
Shields will be.
I generally don't hit when they have it up, so yeah.
I had a glimpse of what they merged, and I'm not happy when it comes to their energy shield and merging utilities. Okay. And now seeing this, but
it's great.
The next one I think is an interesting utility. I don't think it's very good, but I still like it. Stealth Scan grants conflict response protocols, increasing the next damage or healing dealt by your next non-channeled direct damage or healing ability by 20%. Each target revealed from stealth, you generate an additional charge. Conflict responses stack up to 5 times and last for 10 seconds. So in theory, if you reveal 5 stealth players, you get a 100% increase. If not, you get 20.
If you're like in an arena versus 4 stealth,
it would be 120, wouldn't it? It stacks up to 5 times. Oh no, it's up to 5 times. Okay, sorry, beg your pardon.
Mm-hmm.
So, but just using stealth scan gives you 20% increase.
I don't know if that's worth a utility point, if you ask me.
Maybe for PvE it is. I mean, if you've got a 20% increase on.
Yeah, that's true. Sorry, I'm only thinking.
If you can use it before the fight, so you don't waste a global cooldown on it, I think it will be worth it.
Yep,
Yeah.
Skyrush brings up a point. You're operative with cloak. So an operative stealths out, you stealth scan them, and then electron at them, and then make them which they never rolled an operative, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's the
Then
Mercs
again,
making
that is very
operatives and
situational.
sub.
That is very situational. You know, it's useless against any other class than Sin and Operative. So
20% just it depends on what tier it's in. It depends what it's against, and it depends on the context. Like, if you can get away with taking it for PvE and just having a 20% increase on a big ability, that's not terrible.
Yeah, exactly.
But the thing is, like, don't the stealth classes work differently in PvE anyway, in terms of revealing them? You don't tend to, like... Oh, okay. So, merge utilities. Energy Shield now further decreases ability activation pushback by 30% and increases all healing received by 20%. What?
Yeah.
That must stop.
I already took
those were two separate things, and I took them both.
Yeah, you should take them both, and now they're merged. That's crazy.
It's insane.
It's really good.
You think that works with the Cult to Overload as well? So that's increased by 20%.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I know, like it will still heal you only to 70, but I think each individual tick, so it will heal you faster, I guess. You know, because
Power
each
Shield
individual
was utility tier 2.
Yeah.
It's apparently being moved up to tier 3, but we'll see.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
Well, so the chances that you're getting burst through Kolto are now even zero, I guess. Yeah.
Energy Shield equals God Shield. Yeah, it looks like they looked at a Sorc bubble and went, how can we make things equally as broken as this? I know. Alright, updated supercharged defenses. So this is now squished. Activating supercharged gas increases your defensive chances by 15% and grants immunity to interrupts for 8 seconds. In addition, your endurance is increased by 3%. All healing received is increased by 3%. That's okay, I guess. It's not amazing.
I think the supercharged. Well, I should say first because.
It's pretty good because more immunity means you can like heal better because Merc is very susceptible to interrupts.
Yeah.
But the last changes I read was that this one would be moved to the last tier, and I'm not sure if it's worth there.
Okay.
I think the activating supercharged gas yada yada was already a popular choice for Merc healers, especially. And now, like 3% more health and more healing received.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Jet Rebounder increases the damage dealt by Jet Boost by 30% and heals you and up to 7 other allies within range for X. In addition, taking damage reduces the active cooldown of Jet Boost by 1 second. This effect not occur. Yeah. So that's merged Kolto Jets.
Yeah, it was useless and it's still useless. I wouldn't take it.
Another new one has been renamed and merged. So you have threat sensors, increases stealth detection level by 3, melee and range defenses by 3, and reduces the cooldown of stealth scan by 5 seconds. Additionally, when you activate Cure on yourself, all periodic damage taken is reduced by 30% for 12 seconds. That looks pretty solid to me.
I don't get the stealth detection level by 3. Isn't that pretty, and PvP at least? I mean, aren't we basically baseline invincible anyway, so...
Pretty useless, but
range
defenses by 3 is effectively a 3% damage reduction, kind of.
Yeah, it's really not that much though. 3% is...
No, but I'm thinking for PvE, a flat 3% reduction, plus if you can do the stealth scan thing every 5 seconds sooner to get a 20% damage increase, that's not too bad. I've never played Merc properly. I'm just trying to think how those two things will stack together again.
Yeah.
I don't think I think that the best reason to take this one is for the periodic damage they can reduce by 20%.
Yeah, I think that's why some Mercs took it in the first place. Anyway.
Yeah, especially if you're versus dot specs in like team rank or something, this will be handy.
Well, I mean, theoretically, right? Ideally, in a perfect world, you've got 3 more stealth levels, so maybe you use stealth scan a little bit earlier. It reveals 4 operatives. You get 100% increase on something. You know what I mean? I guess that's kind of how it would ideally work. But
I mean, this is
in practice. I'm not sure if it will work.
I'm just thinking, you know, like since you mentioned team ranked and everything, if you're like up against one of those dot spread 8s cleave combos, and you have shield active plus this 30% reduced dot damage and an adrenal, and you have increased healing received. And I mean, you're ranged anyway, so you're not
Remember
even that
my
despicable
name,
to-
Merc.
Yeah.
I'm gonna live forever. I'm gonna net you to death, alacrity.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Sounds good in theory. We'll see.
updated utility, smoke screen have been changed. Taking melee or tech damage within 4 seconds of using rocket out refreshes its cooldown. Oh wow! This effect cannot occur more than once every 40 seconds. That's still pretty good.
What the?
So if you use your reverse leap and someone hits you, it comes off cooldown.
Taking melee or tech damage. Yeah. So
Yeah,
only...
so range damage and force damage won't reset it.
Yeah, that seems a bit odd. Why it doesn't affect force
That's
damage?
really weird, actually.
That's like a
Yeah,
buff to
that's-
Sorc.
They should
Okay,
just
so-
change that to just taking damage, surely.
I don't want to
Yeah.
whine too much, but so basically, as a sin, I can't attack a Merc 4 seconds after using Rocket Out because
Well,
any
you
of
can-
my
you can use a
abilities
force
will
attack.
reset it. Oh yeah, it's only tech damage, right?
yeah, melee and tag.
Oh, I was thinking
Take
white
one milli
damage.
or tech.
Yellow damage, I mean. Yeah, okay. Well then,
That's just another.
But as a,
Hey, operatives. What's up?
yeah.
so as a
I'm
marauder,
not sure
I
if
could
I would
charge
take
in,
it.
do some damage, and then just charge again.
Wouldn't leap
When they
Yeah.
wouldn't leap count as melee?
right, yeah, but they have a second charge, but so do I with my force charge, right now.
Oh
with the
yeah,
new
yeah,
changes.
yeah. And so can PTs. Yeah.
So you're just
Right.
bouncing around like.
So everyone's
that's
going to be
gonna-
bouncing around the map now.
That would be really crazy.
Well, the good thing is, at least all those leaps always work seamlessly, and nothing ever goes wrong.
Mm.
So now now Marauders, now Juggernauts, PTs, and Mercs have like 2 of these abilities.
Yeah.
after
So
each
we're
other.
basically now bunnies.
Yeah.
Hopping around the battlefield, yeah.
Yeah. I've got to say, in all seriousness, I kind of like the design idea between a lot of these utilities.
Do you remember how when 4.0 was mined,
Yeah.
and we were like, oh my god, look at all this crazy mobility every
Yeah.
class is
Yeah.
gonna have.
Yeah.
And do you see a pattern here, maybe?
No, but I still think there's crazy mobility in the game.
Yeah,
I haven't
now
changed
they're
my
they're
stand.
upping that. It's gonna be even crazier.
I'm looking forward to it, to be honest. I am actually genuinely looking forward to hit PTS if they put this on PTS and we can go and play it, because some of the changes they're kind of drastic, and
I really wish
could
they'd
try
called it Rocket Outerer. Because you get more Rocket Out. That would have been a brilliant rename for it. Alright, sorry. Beg your pardon. Gyroscopic alignment jets, you vent 20 heat, up from 10. When stunned, immobilized, knocked down, or otherwise incapacitated. Additionally, when incapacitated, your next tech ability deals 10% damage or healing. I said damage.
That's the same
I'm
that
really-
PTs have, right?
I'm really happy with this.
Yeah.
Because I always feel like when I'm healing, I'm restricted because of energy or heat in this case. So this will really help with that.
Yeah,
Sky-
plus Mercs get stunned a
Skyrish,
lot because they.
Yeah, because fucking
Yeah.
works. Skyrish says swat. I'm sure he means sweet, but it's
Yeah,
apt that
the
he
second time
says
you said
swat
that now.
because it's 20. Well, it's heat, isn't it?
Or maybe
He's-
he's
yeah.
I'm sweating because I'm fucking terrified of Mercs now.
No, because
so
it's heat.
maybe that's what it means.
He's reducing heat with swat. That's what he's saying.
Ah, wow,
Updated
that's
jet
too
clever.
escape.
advanced for me.
Reduces the cooldown of jet boost by 5 seconds, rocket out by 3 seconds, and determination by 30 seconds. So it's a reduction on rocket out by 3 seconds. Not sure you would take that, to be honest.
Maybe if it's in the first tier, maybe you could take it. But
Okay. Power shot and tracer missile reduce the movement speed of targets. They damage by 40% for 9 seconds, up from 6. In addition, the slowing effect applied by Colter residue lasts an additional 3 seconds. So it's a 9-second up from. Yeah. Okay.
if it's in the first or second tier, yeah, I would take it maybe.
All right, so the last one is a cosmetic change. Rocket Punch has now been changed to Missile Blasts. So Afterburners now applies to Missile Blast. Immobilizes the target for 4 seconds. Direct damage caused after 2 seconds ends the effect. This effect can only occur once every 8 seconds. In addition, jet boosts knockback effect is stronger and pushes enemies 4 meters further away.
Oh my god.
So yeah, pretty good.
Well,
For second route on 30 meters, I think. So.
that's really good. But
Yeah,
the problem is
it's
missile blast generates a lot of heat, and it's
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
so you have to watch when you use it. But it'd be good against operatives and duels because the route really helps.
Okay, so that's all the classes done, guys. There's a few more things on here, with bits and pieces to be sorted out, so we'll skip over those. But I strongly suggest that if you want to keep up to date with these, just bookmark the website. It's on Jedipedia, and I'm sure Skyrush will be an amazing mod and link it for me in a second. But so, what are your thoughts? Let's go through this one at a time. Delegate, are you there this time?
Yeah, I'm here.
Fantastic. What are your thoughts overall on this?
I really like the changes overall. The thing is, like, you see it on paper, to see it in action is something different. So I'd be really interested to see all of the changes on PTS. I usually play Marauder. I'd be really interested now in playing some other classes, Powertech especially, and Mercenary. I really don't usually play.
So basically, what you just said was, I want to play the OP specs based on what I think will be OP.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to the Merc changes and to the Marauder changes, definitely, because I'm a complete Marauder fan. So yep.
So you think the Marauder changes are good? You're happy with them?
I'm really happy with the Marauder changes so far. Yeah, really good.
And Mac?
Poor guy.
I'm glad I didn't show my face for this. You would see a broken man.
It's a broken.
Feels bad, man.
If you ask me what are they going to change to Deception Sins, I wouldn't be able to tell you. Maybe it's incomplete, but all I saw was nerfs to.
I honestly think Sins will be fine. I think the play style is changing to be more roguish. If anyone ever played WoW, with the bait on crit attack and the kind of like leaping to finish someone, so you can leap again to use assassinate. I don't think they're going to be as bad as you think they are. Honestly, don't.
I think you just traded like damage for more damage
Speed,
reduction.
Basically. Also, your utility.
The damage was never the issue.
What was that reflect thing again?
At least I don't have it on a 20-second cooldown, and I still receive the damage. You know? And don't just outright ignore it.
No, I think Sins will be strong. I think a 50%, like for Deception, I think a 50% reflect is good. I think it's a strong talent.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't really seen much of the utilities merge for Sins, am I correct?
No.
I think.
No, yeah,
so
not many.
It depends on that, because right now I'm pretty clear on my utility selection, you know?
Yeah.
But we'll see how that's going to change, because I really want that reflect, even though it's not as good, the operative one.
Actually, I think it's better than the operative one, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
I think the op is going to be one. It's going to be one attack. I can't believe it's going to be 4 seconds, and 10 seconds, 50% reflect. Even though you do take the damage, it's still
12 seconds even. Yeah. Also, Facewalk, rest in peace. You were too beautiful for us.
Yeah,
I hope you find happiness. I hope you find happiness with your sword.
I think that is so cheeky, though.
I don't understand.
They gave it to us. They gave it to us in the first place. Then they gave it to sorcerers out of pity, I guess. I don't know. And now they're gonna keep it, and we.
Yeah.
And they get a cool utility for it as well, you know, with a 10-second leap immunity after. But anyway.
All right.
Yeah, I don't want to complain too much. You know, this is early PTS build. Yada yada.
Yeah, there'll be a lot more changes, I'm sure, coming, especially with the utility points.
Guys, I gotta be honest with you. Historically, they've changed nothing.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway,
I don't know. We'll see.
If some guys watched me, I do like playing my Merc as it is, and I think I'm gonna enjoy it even more now. So, yeah.
If you can't beat them, join them.
Exactly.
Thor?
I'll be playing my Merc definitely, but I probably won't bother with my Sin anymore unless it's for tanking.
But what about snipers though?
Snipers, yeah.
Snipers will be very good as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe sniper would be pretty fun to global somebody with like all this damage boost utilities.
I think right now in America, Devil is sat there ripping a fat bong, vaponationing things up. Yeah, he's going to absolutely wreck people. I think snipers have got a lot of good changes. I mean, for me, the two big takeaways on this were snipers and mercs. I think they both get a lot of really cool stuff.
Yeah.
It's almost like a redesign of the class, to be honest with you. And I really like it. I honestly do. I mean, if anyone's ever watched me, they know I don't like snipers very much. But I think the utilities they're giving them gives a very interesting style of play. I'm not saying I'm going to roll a sniper, because, you know, I'm not going to. But I like the way that it's done. The whole thing about if X amount are in diversion, if they're in your shield, you get various buffs on it. I like those kind of mechanics.
And the Mercs have suffered for solo rank for such a long time, so it'd be interesting to see how now, like with the changes, like how much that really changes.
Well, the thing with this game is
it's like they buffed like the 2 least performing classes in solo ranked, snipers and mercs.
Yeah. Well, but the other thing you got to bear in mind is with this game, a lot in this game, people will re-roll based on whatever they perceive to be the flavor of the month. And because everyone's got a bazillion alts now, and gear is so easy to get and transfer around, I strongly think snipers and mercs will be like massively played when the expansion first comes out.
Yeah.
It might, it might change over time when people realize that maybe they aren't as good as they are on paper. But I think initially, but the thing I'm concerned about is the biggest issue this game has had when it comes to class balance is class stacking. So when you have 4 of one class doing the same thing, it just breaks the game. And we are 100% going to see that.
Like 4 sins in ranked or something ridiculous like that.
Well,
just
I'm thinking of like 4 electronets.
Yeah, plus 15% LX. Yeah, that's crazy.
That's what I'm thinking. Also the same thing with snipers as well. You're just going to get constantly stunned and.
We're gonna get some more sniper suicide squads, I think.
And I also think that BioWare, please, just this one time, do a class balance patch a month after release, pretty please. Yeah. Because when you realize you made a huge mistake, when you're sat there going, "Oh, I've made a huge mistake," just be prepared for that, initial 1 month patch, so you can just like rebalance things. Make them not so OP. Ultimately, people like playing OP classes because everyone likes being the king of the hill. But I think honestly, it's more fun to play balanced classes. A bit more rewarding.
Yeah, amen to that.
All right, any more thoughts from anyone, or are we done here?
I think we're done. I mean, from my side, Marauder perspective, really happy with the changes. It'll be really fun to put them into play. Can't wait really until they come into effect on PTS at least. Anyway, yeah.
So once again, thank you to everyone from Talk Community, Sword Hamster, Sword Coconut, even Delegate. Thank you very much for all the effort you put into this. I'm going to stop the stream now. I'm going to grab another beer, and I'm going to carry on doing PvP, and we'll carry on the discussion. But we're done now as far as the reveal is concerned. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I hope you stick around to have a little chat about the changes. But in the meantime, take it easy, guys. Take care. Good night.
Oh, cheers. See you later.
Bye.